एडमिट कर दो दीदी.
Yeah, we are live.
ओके मैं एडमिट कर दूं. Hi, hello everyone. So
Umang, I think you can start. Umang?
hello everyone. Hi. Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great. So this is a CRUD app essentials program by Let's Upgrade, and I am a representative of Let's Upgrade team. So I welcome you all to this essential program. It is a 2-day essential program, and we have with us Mr. Saurav Gupta sir, who is an amazing trainer in web application as well as an app applications. So he'll be training us in CRUD app essentials, and I know you all people are from different locations. So just for an introductory part, I would like everybody, all of you, to tell from which places you belong to, from where you are watching this video. Just type it in the chat box, and in YouTube as well. All the people who are watching this from YouTube, it's a request that you can join the Zoom link. It is in the pinned post at the YouTube as well. So you can join in here. So we will take all the doubts and everything here as well, and it will be a small group of people having knowing everything and everything doubts. So we have people from Ambala, Ghaziabad, and from Bangalore, from Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal. I mean, from all the parts of this countries, and really from everywhere. So it's really great that from all the parts of the nation we have people here. So as you all know, this is an 2-day essential program, and now I would like to tell all of you about the Let's Upgrade, how the procedure will be for these 2 days. So you will be getting an attendance form every day. You have to fill that attendance form, and after filling, and you have to attend this session live. Okay, so after attending the session and filling the attendance forms of 2 days, you will be given an eligibility list for the exam. Then if you give the exam, then you will receive the certificate. This is the whole procedure of this essential programs. So after, I think I'm getting a lot of chat from all of you people regarding your location, and it's really great that you all have joined. So now I would also like to tell you about the PGP courses that Let's Upgrade prevails. So Let's Upgrade is having PGP courses in 4 fields, which is one is web development. As you all know, CRUD app is one of a part, you can say, in that. And we have in web development, in data science, in AIML, and we have in Python. Okay, can we attend the recording session and attend the test? Yeah, test will be after that. Your examination will take after a few days after the session, not just like just after this. Okay, so exam will be an MCQ based exam. It will not be a long exam for like 2 to 3 hours. It will be a short exam for 15 questions, MCQ questions, and you can all give it in. And there will be a brief span of time for you all to attempt the paper. So don't worry about the exam. Sound is not coming. Am I audible? Okay, okay. That's great. I hope you all got the gist and information about everything that we stand for. Now I would like Sir to introduce himself and then so that we can start the session. And I will also be there for the whole time in the session. So any doubts regarding anything you can have, just type it in the chat box and I will make sure that I can answer all of them. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Sir. How are you? So you're not audible. Your mic is unmute.
Okay, now am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And also am I visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Guys, please tell me, can you see me? Can you see me on the screen? Okay, that's great. That's great. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And I saw that you guys are like from all parts of India. And I also like know few of you people. So I welcome you all to this 2-day CRUD application development. Okay. And don't worry, what is that? What is going to happen? I'm going to tell you all of that when we start this thing. So are we guys ready? Are we guys excited to start with this? Are we guys ready? Please tell me in the chat. Show me some excitement. Show me like, do you really want to learn everything that we have planned for you for the next 2 days? Okay, that's great. So, and again, some of you might be knowing me. Some of you might be like, do not know me. That's totally fine. So for everyone, I'll introduce myself once. My name is Saurabh Gupta, and I'll be your trainer for the next 2 days for the CRUD application development. Where we're gonna build a project that will contain all the basic aspects of any application. Okay, so that is what our plan for this project that we're going to build. So we are not learning anything from very scratch or tutorial, but we'll see how to build a CRUD application from scratch. So this is basically a 2-day project session. Okay. Okay, then. So can we start, guys? Can we start? Can you guys also see my screen? Can you see the Windows screen, the blue screen? Okay. So
Yes, sir,
first of all, I'll tell you what exactly are we going to build before moving on to like what are we going to use and how we'll code it. Before doing all of that, first of all, I'm going to tell you like exactly what is this CRUD application, right? For example, when you build a project, we sometimes know the name like, okay, fine, we are going to build a nutrition app or we are going to build a social media app. What is CRUD? So first of all, I'll tell you the full form of CRUD. CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. This is what CRUD stands for. Okay, basically we are going to create a project in which there is creation of data involved, there is updation of data involved, there is deletion involved, and there is reading, or you can also say display involved, where all these 4 aspects are involved. And you should know that all the applications in this world, whether it will be Facebook or Twitter or Google or YouTube, has like they have all of it or some of it like as their main aspects. For example, if I want to like explain you what exactly it is, see, you go on YouTube, you see all of that videos and all the link of other videos. That is what is the display of data. Basically, YouTube is displaying their data to you, right? You go on Google, you search for something, they display you a bunch of links where you can find them. That is display of data. That is what we call as reading. That basically means we have read the data from somewhere and we are displaying it to you. That is what you call as reading, right? So that's it. That is what you call as reading. So that is the R of CRUD. Second thing, for example, let's say somewhere this YouTube panels, like if you have ever uploaded a video on YouTube, right? So let's say if you have a channel and you go on, oh, so for example, let's say you're on Facebook and you want to add a post, you go on, select the image, write some caption, or in Instagram, you select the image, write some caption and say post it. Basically, you're creating a new post, you're creating a new data. Not, don't think it like a post, think it like a data. So that is what you call as creation, right? That is what you call as creation of data. So that is the C. And now let's say you created an Instagram post and now you feel I want to edit it. I want to change the caption a little. Or for example, you have your Instagram bio and now I want to change something in the bio. I want to write something else, or I want to change my name. That is what you call as update of data. You have something, but you want to change it. So that is the U. And let's say you go on Facebook and you remove the profile picture, or you delete the profile picture, or you delete a particular post, that is what you called as delete of data. Okay, so this is what you call, like, simply call as CRUD: create, read, update, delete. An application that involves these four things. So basically all the applications in this world like have these four things in any way. Sometimes they only have viewing, sometimes they has create and view, sometimes they might be having create, update and view, sometimes they might be having view and delete. So it depends, and I'm going to show you how to do all four of this in the application that we are going to build, so that in future if you want to do something, if you want to like perform a delete operation on some application, maybe in some other context like deleting a post or something like that, you'll be knowing how to delete it. You're also going to learn how to read data and display on the web page. You're also going to learn how to fill a form and submit and add it to a database. Okay, so basically you're going to learn all of these things, all the basics of a CRUD application. And CRUD is the basis of all the applications that are built in the world. They use this CRUD operations in some way or other. Are we cleared, everyone? Okay, and yes, I'll also introduce you with the technologies that we are going to use to make this CRUD application. Now you can like make a CRUD application anywhere. You can use PHP and HTML and JavaScript. You can use like Java and HTML and CSS. So I'm going to tell you what we are going to use here. Okay. But have we understood what exactly is CRUD, guys? Tell me now. First of all, like tell me that. Have we understood what exactly is a CRUD application? So it's nothing. CRUD is just a name of an application containing create, read, delete operations. Create, read, update, delete operations that almost every application in this world has. Okay, so that's what CRUD means. Now I'm going to introduce you to the technologies that we're going to use. So hear me out. What are we going to use for our database, where we're going to store our data, right? Because we need some place where we can store our data, right? When someone will create something, so we want to store it somewhere, right? So that in future we can read it, update it, or delete it, right? So to store our data, we are going to use something called as MongoDB. Okay, now I'm going to explain you everything about MongoDB in a nutshell after some time. Don't worry, I'm just telling you what are the technologies that we're using. So MongoDB will be our database. You can also, like, when we create normal applications, sometimes we go for SQL, sometimes we go for Oracle SQL, sometimes we go for PostgreSQL. In here, we're going for MongoDB. Sometimes people go for Firebase for their databases to store their data, but we are going to use MongoDB. Will you share the GitHub repo? Yes, why not? At the end, when we like complete the session, complete the project, I'll put it on GitHub and share the link to LetsUpgrade, and they will email you, all of you. They will email all of you the link, and you can get it from there. Okay, so MongoDB. Second, what is the technology that we're going to use for the backend? So when I say the backend, that means something that will interact with the database to store the data and read the data and update the data and delete the data. So basically, when I say the backend technology, that means something that will interact with the database. So for the backend, we are going to use something called as Node.js, one of the very famous server-side backend languages nowadays, right? If I talk about the alternatives, we can go for Java, we can go for C#, we can go for PHP. But right now, Node.js, like, it's having a really big boom. So we have decided to do the backend of this application in Node.js. And now let's come to the front end. Now, when I say the front end, that basically means the front, what the user can see, where the user can interact, the page. So now we are talking about the front end, and we are going to create the front end in one of the most famous technologies or frameworks going around right now, that is React. Okay, so for front end, we are going to use the React library or framework. You can call it anything. I'm going to explain you what that is. Don't worry. Right now, I'm just introducing you. So for front end, we are going to use React. For the backend language, we are going to use Node.js for the backend to create the backend. And for the database, we are going to use MongoDB. So are we clear with all the technologies, guys? On YouTube, on Zoom, I'm watching the chat simultaneously, guys. So don't worry. If you're in YouTube, don't worry. I am also watching YouTube. I'm also watching Zoom. So I'm watching both. Okay, so whatever chat you have, you can simply tell me, because I'm watching both and I'm seeing both. Okay, so these are the technologies that we are going to use. Okay, I hope everyone is cleared. Okay, and someone is also saying Express. Don't worry, that is the part of Node.js, so you don't have to mention it separately, but we are going to use it. Okay, so are we cleared, guys? Are we cleared? Okay, so the first thing that we'll learn today is something about MongoDB. Now see, first of all, this is a project session, right? This is not like a tutorial for a particular thing, like learning database or learning Node.js or learning React. But I'm like gonna explain everything from scratch. But this is a project session. Mainly, we are focusing on a project. Okay, guys. So we'll do it at a project. Okay, I'll show you how to install everything. I'll show you some basics, and then I'll directly start creating the project for you, but from scratch. Don't worry. But just remember, this is not a tutorial from scratch. But yes, if you have any questions, you can ask. I'm definitely going to explain you. I'm just saying that I'm not going to like do the explanation of everything from the scratch, because there will be a lot of things that I'll leave. I'm not going to tell you, because this is not a tutorial for Node.js, or this is not a tutorial for React. This is like we are building a project using Node and React. But still, I'll try my best to cover up some basics, because we have only 2 days. If you want to learn everything about React, if you want to learn everything about Node, then it will take like months to learn everything. But still, we're going to talk about the basics. Okay, now you guys tell me, what should be the base of our project? For example, what should we build? Should we build a product management system? Should we build whatever you call it, like anything, like we can build a superhero management database. Now you guys tell me, what do you want to build? I'll do that. You guys tell me, what should we create? Contact management. Okay, someone is also saying product management. What about superhero management? In that we can use cool images, right? In that we can also use cool images. But yes, in product also we can use cool images. But I think superheroes will be interesting. What do you say? Home expense tracker. If you want, okay, we can build a tracker. That's fine. We can go for tracker. Okay, a lot of us saying product management, wholesale management, e-commerce. See, if you want to make e-commerce, then we have to also make login and register. And we are not planning on doing that right now, because we only have 2 days. And also in 2 days, we only have 2 hours each day. That means 4 or maximum 4.5 hours. So we have to build according to that. Any project that involves the basic concepts. Cool then. So I can see a lot of project management boards. Okay, we can also see on YouTube superhero management. Okay, the concept will involve all the same things. So let's go on and let's build a product management system. Okay, and we can convert it into a superhero management at any time. Okay, now when I say management, so what will our project involve? First of all, I'll explain you all that. So basically, we'll have a panel where someone can come, or the user can come and add products. And then he can see the data, all the products that he has added. And if he wants, he can update the data. And if he wants, he can delete the data. And if we get time, I'll also create another view for displaying the same products for normal users who are not managing the panel. Let's say there are some users, for example, think of it like a Flipkart. Flipkart have users like me who buys things. And Flipkart also has users. The website also has users who are sitting in the backend, adding the products, deleting the products. So they have a different view of products. And I have a different view. In my case, I can see filters and everything going on, right? I can price filter them. I can color filter them, right? But for the normal user, for the user that is working with Flipkart, adding products, deleting products, he will have a panel where he can add and delete. So if we get time, I'm gonna create 2 point of views for 2 different users. One user who can manage the panel, who can add the product, delete the product, update the product, and read the product. One user who can read the product, but he will also have the filter system. He can filter based on price. He can filter based on categories. He can filter based on few things. So do you guys want that? So if we get time, I'm also going to create one more point of view for a normal user who is there to see the products and not to create or read or update or delete. Guys, are we clear? Are we cleared? Okay, so if we get time, I'm going to build that as well. I'm going to show you how to create filters. Okay, filters for price, filters for. So now you guys are going to learn a lot in this project. So without wasting your time, let's start it. And you guys can also invite your friends, share this so that everyone can learn. So please invite your friends, tell them to watch the session, and also share it so that everyone can learn. Okay, so then let's start. So first of all, and also I'm considering here that few like you guys might be knowing a little bit of HTML, CSS, and JS. But if you don't know anything at all, don't worry, I'm still going to start from scratch. Okay, but if you know a little bit of HTML, CSS, and JS, it will be really great help for me. Okay, cool then. So now, okay, So we are going to start from the backend part. We're not going to start from the front end part. So when I'm saying that we're going to, okay, someone is asked, do we need to set our VS code for it? Set yes, if you have it installed, then that will be great. I'm going to tell you what are the extensions and everything. But yes, I'm going to use VS code. Just to tell you people, I'm going to use VS code. Okay. So you guys can also use it because I'm going to use VS code. Okay, cool then. Amazing. Let's start. So to start with, I'm going to start from MongoDB. Okay, instead of starting from Node.js. So first of all, I'll introduce you to the database. I'll introduce you how to install it. I'll tell you how to install it and how to start using it. Okay, so that first you understand the database that we are going to use. Then second, you understand the backend, and we'll create the backend as well. And tomorrow we're going to work with all the front end. So today is all about backend. Tomorrow is all about front end. So today we'll first understand the database that we're going to use, how to install it, and how to open it, and how to start creating data, creating collections. And then we'll move to the backend after understanding the database. And we'll also create that as well today. And tomorrow we'll work with the front end. Sounds like a good plan, right, guys? Everyone? So then let's start. Let's start. So as I said, the backend that we're going to use is going to be MongoDB. So let's simply go and search for MongoDB community download. So it's basically the free version of MongoDB that we can use. Okay, so you can go on this link, MongoDB community download. You can simply click on here, and then here, see, according to your PC, this thing will be selected. Can you see it here? Version, platform, and the package. According to your PC, it will be selected. If it is Linux, you might be having Linux here. If it is Mac, you might be having your Macintosh operating system here. I have Windows, that's why. Okay, where is it? The Windows was selected already, but that's fine. I'll move to Windows. Yeah. And then you simply have to click on download, and it will download a MSI file for you. That is just nothing but an installable file. Okay. Yes, you can use MongoDB Atlas, not a problem at all. Totally fine. If you guys are comfortable with MongoDB Atlas, you can use it. If you guys know a few things about MongoDB, you can use it as well. Okay. Jitendra, we can't do front end today, buddy, because to start with front end, we need some backend. We need the data first. So the plan was according like the plan was made like this. First, we'll do the backend, and tomorrow we'll do the front end. Okay, cool. So now you simply click on download, and it will download a package for you, just like you download any game or software. And then you simply have to double click and just do next, 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 agree to everything because everything is fine. Now, at the end, you will have an option of, do you want to install MongoDB Compass? Okay, once you start clicking next, 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 you will have an option of, do you want to install MongoDB Compass? It will be by default yes. Don't say no to that. Let it be yes, because MongoDB Compass. Now see, first of all, I'll tell you what are you installing. Once you download it and double click and start installing, you're downloading two things. First thing is you're downloading the MongoDB server. That will basically create a server in your PC that will run MongoDB services. And then you can start creating data, deleting data, updating data in that server. But to do all that, you need to learn all the commands. Okay. But there is also a software that will be installed that is known as MongoDB Compass. So Compass is like a design software in where it is connected to the MongoDB server so that you don't have to write commands. You can simply go on and click on buttons and create data, read data, update data, and delete data. So two ways. If you only install the MongoDB server, you have to go on the command prompt and you have to write commands to create data, update data, delete data. And if you install MongoDB Compass, you'll also have a software where you can simply do all of these things on button clicks instead of writing commands. Okay, so I'll suggest you to install MongoDB Compass because it will make your life easy. And in today's lecture, I'm not going to write commands because we'll learn it when we write backend things. But for easiness and for like completing things fast, we are going to use the Compass part. But maybe in some other session, I'm going to teach you how to write commands directly instead of using Compass. Are we cleared? Are we cleared, everyone? Yes, it will provide GUI, Pranav. Yes, it will provide you the GUI. Yep. So I hope you guys will be able to install it. Sir, please tell us these sessions are certified or not. I think these are. You have to give an exam and these are certified, Shubham. Yep. So if you give exams, you'll get a certificate for sure. Okay, guys. So can we move ahead now, guys? Can we move ahead? So you have to just download it, install the Compass, and that's it. And once you install it, you can simply go on and search for it. So you can simply write Compass. Okay. My screen is here, so I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay, now you can see it here. Yeah, here we go. So I'll write compass. Okay, let me write Mongo. Yeah, here we go. This is something that will be installed. Okay, so you simply have to open it, MongoDB Compass. Okay, so let's open it. We are using MongoDB Compass because we just want to do things a little fast instead of going on the command prompt. But don't worry, tomorrow after front end, if we have like even 30 minutes of time, I'm going to teach you how to direct, instead of using Compass, how to directly write MongoDB command so that you can do everything that you're doing with the Compass, the design center or the GUI, whatever you call it. So here we go. It's opening. Let it open. It takes 2 to 3 minutes of time. So guys, are we getting cleared with this? Guys, are we getting cleared with all of the things that I'm saying here? Are you guys understanding everything? Please tell me. Okay, great. So we're going to take 15 to 20 minutes to learn this design software. It is very easy to understand. It's like really very easy to understand. Vinay is saying not able to install it in Mac. What is the problem, Vinay? What are you facing? Is there any error coming? Actually, even I don't have experience with Mac because I have never worked in Mac, but you guys, you can tell me error. If I'm familiar with it, I'll tell you. Okay, so now it has opened. You can see. Do we need to download Compass separately? No, Sharma, you don't have to. You simply have to download it and you simply have to click double click, next. There will be option of installing Compass. Just if it will be by default, yes. If it is not yes, just say yes and it will install it. Okay. Yes. You don't have to run mongos.exe. I think if it is a exe file, you just have to double click. Pranav, you just have to double click. You don't have to run it. But yes, I think that is what you mean by running. Just double click and it will start installing. Okay. Now guys, see. So now I have Compass. So now the first thing I have to do is I have to make a connection with MongoDB server. The first thing I have to do is I have to make a connection with MongoDB server. Okay. MongoDB server is the place where MongoDB services are running. And also it is storing all the data in MongoDB server. This is just a software that helps you connect with MongoDB server. And this is the software where you can do everything on button click, simply button click, and it will take everything to the server. You can also do that, all of that with the command prompt as well. And I'm going to show you that if we get time tomorrow. Install Compass cannot be opened. Just say yes to it. Yeah, see, Abhin is also telling you. Just, I think you might be getting an option of allowing it, right? If your PC is blocking it. So just allow it and I think it will work then. See, Abhin is here with the answer, Vinay. He's telling you to go in preference, click on security and privacy and just click allow. So yes, it will do. I think it's in Mac, right? Okay, then let's move ahead, guys. So now, first of all, what we have to do is we have to simply click on this connect button. It will simply connect to the MongoDB server. Or you can also see, this is the complete URL. Here you have to put the URL. Right now, there is no URL here. Okay, you can also click on this, fill in connection fields individually. It will be already filled. See, any local server you have, the name will be always localhost. So our MongoDB server's name is also localhost. This is the port number. And right now there is no authentication for the server. So we can simply click on connect. So basically, our server is having a name of localhost and port number of 27017. And you have to simply say connect, and then our MongoDB Compass will be connected to the MongoDB server. So let's simply click connect and let's wait for a minute and it will be connected. Shubham, you have to learn commands because once you start connecting MongoDB server programmatically, then you have to write commands. Then in that case, you cannot use Compass, right? Shubham, are you understanding? Right now, we are using Compass for our simply to learn MongoDB, simply to understand how MongoDB works. But once you start writing Node.js, where Node.js will be like what you call connected to your MongoDB server. In that case, we have to write commands. We cannot use Compass there, right? Shubham, are you understanding? So we are going to need commands. That's why we're going to learn commands as well. A little, like not every command that we have in MongoDB because we have a lot of commands, but at least I'm going to teach you some basics. So don't worry. Are we cleared, Shubham? Shubham, are we cleared with this? Okay, cool. Let's move ahead now. So now, see, if you have any experience with any database previously, mostly maybe with SQL, because a lot of colleges teach SQL. So you might be knowing you have something called as a database. So a database is nothing but a collection of what you call as tables, right? In a single database, you store all the related data. So basically for a single application, mostly you have a single database, right? And a single database is nothing but collection of tables. Okay. But see, SQL, Oracle SQL, Microsoft SQL, whatever the SQL is, SQL is a relational database. That means they have tables and tables have relation. Okay. MongoDB is not a table-based database. It's not a relational database. Okay. Normally, it's not a table-based database. MongoDB is a document-based database. MongoDB is a document-based database. For example, in SQL, you create tables. Tables have columns, and then they have rows, and inside rows you store data. So SQL is a table-based database. MongoDB is a document-based database. Now, if you don't know what is a document, I'll tell you what we call as a document here. It's pretty simple to understand. So let me open a notepad for you. So if you know a JavaScript, a document is nothing but something that looks like a JS object, like this. And then you can simply have like something like this. Name. Let's say I write Saurabh, then you separate it with comma, and then you write age. Then you write simply like, let's say it's a number, so you don't have to put double quotes. 25, then whatever is like the things. So this is what you call as a document. Okay, this is what you call as a document. So MongoDB is a document-based database. That means all the data here is stored like this. Are we clear, everyone? Guys, so in SQL, you have tables, which have columns, and then you have rows. In rows, you store data. In MongoDB, you store data like this, which is much more simpler and easier to understand because it's much more similar as compared to JS objects and objects in general. Okay, so this is what you call as a document, and that's why MongoDB is called as a document-based database. So normally, the concept goes like this. In SQL, you have something called as tables. So first of all, you have a database. Then inside database, you have table. And inside table, you have row that stores data. So you have database. Database can have multiple tables. And a table can have multiple rows. That means multiple data. Okay. And now, okay, connect, error connection refused. I think your server is not on, Nandkishore. I think your server might not be on. But if you open Compass, server is by default on. Why is that happening? Okay, don't worry. For people who are getting server issue, I'm going to explain you. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm going to tell you how to switch on the server. Don't worry. Okay. So please focus, everyone. I'm going to show you how to. Don't worry, Nandkishore. I'm going to tell you how to open the server. Okay. So now see. In SQL, you have database that has multiple tables, and a single table has multiple rows, and a single row has a data. In MongoDB, you again have database. The first thing is similar. You have a database. Now you don't have tables here. You have something called as collections. You have something called as collection. A collection is nothing but a collection of documents. And then instead of rows, you have something called as documents. That's all. Database can have multiple collections, and a single collection can have multiple documents. Yes, Pranav, JSON format. Exactly. JSON is also nothing but something related to JS object, right? That's why I generally try to use JS object comparison instead of JSON, because JSON is also like built from JS object, and a document is also built from the concept of JS object. So yes, you can say that. Pramod, you didn't miss anything. Right now, we're just starting the explanation of MongoDB and how to use it. Okay. So guys, have we cleared with this concept of database, collections, and documents? So again, here you have a database. Inside database, you have a collection, and a single database can have multiple collections. Just like in SQL, a single database can have multiple tables, and a collection can have multiple documents, related documents. That's it. So guys, are we cleared with this? Okay, Jamula Varun is asking, sir, your views on Django with SQL. Why not? It still works. It's a really great, what you call, approach of creating a backend, and a lot of people still use it. So yes, why not? It's really great. Okay, SQL is still if you rank them, SQL is still a little on the top as compared to MongoDB. But right now, people are like shifting to MongoDB a lot. A lot of people are shifting to MongoDB because of its easiness, scalability, and flexibility. So a lot of people are shifting, but still SQL is on top if you compare it with MongoDB, just because it is like getting used from a lot of time, and MongoDB is new. But a lot of people are shifting to MongoDB. Windows 7 will support it. Windows 7 will support it, because previously I also had Windows 7 and I used to use run MongoDB in it. Okay, guys, can we move ahead now? Have we understood the concept here, the basic concept of documents and collections? Okay, cool. And for someone was like asking, right, how he's not having, like, unable to start the MongoDB server. So what you can simply do is, see, you have to make a simple adjustment here. Let me just not this one. Yeah. Actually, let's not search it here. You can simply go on MongoDB website and I can show you. Let me just go on that. Yeah. So here, if you go on the docs and you can go on server. Okay, for guys, like if you really want and like to understand how to do it, here we go. Click on installation here. Okay, and then community edition, because we are using that, and install on whatever OS you want to install. Okay, so let's say I'm for Windows, so I'll just install on Windows. Okay, and here you have all of it. See, first of all, they're also telling to download the exe file, and then simply you can simply then run it, I feel. Yeah, once you install it, download the installer, run the installer, and see, they have given you all the list of doing everything. Next, you have literally everything. And then guys, see, okay, see, for people who like whose MongoDB is not working properly, you might be there might be a problem with the path. There might be a problem with the path. So you just have to open your command prompt and you have to paste this command. So basically this will start your MongoDB server. So for people who have installed the MongoDB server but are unable to run the server, you just have to run this command. For Windows, you guys, you just have to run this command in your command prompt and MongoDB will start. Okay, and yes, Prasad has also come up with the location of it, so you can also go there, but this is the location as well, so you can just simply run this command. Okay guys, everyone, so I was just trying to find it, but instead of that, I remembered that you have the link directly on the website. So I'll just paste this in the chat if you guys want to run it. So this, if you run this, you can simply start to work with the MongoDB command. Here we go. I think I have pasted it. No, but it's not going right. How can I? Everyone in meeting. Yeah. Yep. So I've pasted the command here, guys. You can simply go on, run this command, and MongoDB server will start. And then you can open Compass and you can connect with it. Okay, guys. Everyone, are we clear with this? So simply run that command for people who have installed it, but Compass is not working normally. Yes, you can run it with administrator. You can also run it normally. It will work for both. I think it works for both. Actually, yes. See, in this, they are mentioning it. You have to run it with administration privileges. So yes, do this actually. Do this. I have like ran it normally as well. I have like simply opened command prompt and ran it. But yes, just do it for this. Okay, someone is asking for please tell for Mac. Let me see. Even like I have never seen Mac because I have never used Mac. So yes, they are telling you to install the tgz file. Okay, and then you have to extract it, and then you have to set the path. Here we go. See, Sunny, you have to follow this. Install Compass. Now open it, Pranav. Now open it and see if you can connect it. Pranav, now open it and see if you can connect it, buddy. Okay. Sunny, you have to follow this thing. See, I have no experience with Mac, but still I'm telling you, see, you simply have to extract it and then you have to set the path. Here you have two things. You have to set the path and then you can simply run it. Yep. And then you have to create the data directory. Is it needed? Yeah, you have to create this. So you have to go, you have to create the data directory by this command. Connected. That's great, Pranav. That's great. That's great. Okay, guys. So are we clear with this? So Pranav, please follow. Who is this? Sunny, please follow this instructions of it. Okay, just follow it, and I think you'll be able to do it. Okay, guys. So now let's open the Compass again, and let's create a new database for our application. Okay. So let's click on this button. Simply click on Create Database button, and then you can pass any database name, whatever you want. So we are creating a product management system, right? So we'll simply write PMS. Our database name will be PMS. That stands for Product Management System. And then they also tell you to create a collection on the spot, right? A single collection that you want to create inside the database. So in our project, we're only going to have a single collection. So I'll directly name it product, or you can simply say products. Okay. And then create database. And now here we go. You can see it here in the back. Right now it's loading, but you can see it here in the back. We have created collection is where you store documents. Collection is nothing but a collection of documents. Just like you have tables, you have collections here. You'll understand. See, a database is a bigger thing. It can have multiple collections. For example, if in your web application or in your application, you're going to store user details, you're going to store product details, you're going to store, let's say, address details. So you're going to create 3 collections. One for user, so there will be a user collection. One for products, so there will be a product collection. One for address, so there will be an address collection. And in the collection, you store multiple documents. So collection is nothing but just like a table. So database can have multiple collections, and a collection is nothing but where you store your documents, related documents. So user collection will store all the users. Product collection will store all the products. It goes like that. Okay. Hiram, what are you asking? Hiram Jadhav, what are you asking? Can you say that step again? Which step of creating database? You simply have to click on it, give any name to your database, and simply write. See, it basically tells you to at least create one collection, because your database cannot exist if you don't have any collection, right? Like, then why you're creating your database if you're not having any single collection? So you simply have to create at least one collection if you want to create a database, right? So that's it. That's it. Okay. So now this is my database. If I click on it, you'll see that collection. See, inside my PMS database, I have the products collection, and I also have one more button inside the database, that is create collection. That means I can create more collections in here. Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, are we getting cleared with this? Please tell me. So now we are inside our database, and inside the database, we have a collection. And if you want, we can create more collections here. Just click on create collection, and you simply give the collection name. For example, let's say if I want to create one more collection like this, users, create collection. Here we go. Now let it load, let it load. Takes a little time. And see, now if you go inside PMS, you have 2 collections, products and users. Now to start creating data, to start creating document. Now see, document is a single piece of data. A document is a single piece of data. So now if I want to start creating products, I'll simply go in my products collection. I'll click on it. And now see, now I'm inside my products collection. Now here I can start creating documents. Sir, I'm a JavaScript developer, so I never worked on MongoDB. So how many app I have to install? I just installed MongoDB. Right now only MongoDB. Don't worry. Right now only MongoDB, and I'll tell you step by step what you have to install. So don't worry, Pramod. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you everything what you have to install. Let's just go step by step. So right now we are with MongoDB. Let's finish this, and then I'll show you how to install Node.js and how to start with it. Okay, cool. Now, guys, we are inside our collection, and you can see it here as well. We are inside PMS, and we are inside products collection. That's why products is highlighted. We are inside the collection. And now we can create documents, delete documents, update documents, and see documents. Document is nothing but a single piece of data. So let's try to create a single product here. So for that, what we're going to do is we can simply say, now see, this add data I feel is not creation. Okay, let's see. Okay, see, now you have 2 options. So if you click on add data, you have to, let me just zoom it a little bit for you. I hope you can see it now, everyone. So now if you click on add data, you can either import a file. So basically you can create a separate file, like a TXT file or something like that, or a JSON file. And you can have all your documents ready there, and then just import that. It will convert everything to MongoDB documents. Or you can simply choose this option, insert document. Click on this. It will give you this, a place where you can start creating your document. Now you have to leave this ID. There will be a unique ID allotted to, just like in your SQL, you have ID column, right? That is nothing but a unique identifier of your data. So here also you'll have ID. So it has provided the ID by default. If you want, you can also remove it. It will still be provided. If you want, you can keep it. If you want, you can remove it. It will still be added at the end. Okay. Let me see if there is any update. So let's first add a product. So now you just have to simply create an object here. I hope you guys can see it. Let me just zoom it if it is zooming or not. Yep, it is zooming. Identifier for single data, Pranav. Now we are creating document, not collection. We have already created a collection. Collection is just similar to a table, Pranav. Now you can say we are creating a row because we are creating a document. Okay. And each and every document should have a unique identifier, right? Just like in table, you have IDs. If you have ever worked with SQL, you have IDs for each and every row, right, guys? So here also you have IDs for each and every document that you create. So we don't have to give IDs. IDs will be generated internally. We just have to pass other properties. So for example, let's say any dummy product like name, and then let's say, so your document will have a property and a value. So name is the property and value can be anything. So for example, let's say this is an electronic product. So let's say Samsung Galaxy, let's say, what do we call it? Let's say S20. Then put up a comma, and then you can simply move on and write the next property. Let's say this is price, colon, and then again, it is a number, right? So you don't have to put double quotes. It is provided by MongoDB internally, Prasad. MongoDB will provide you internally the IDs. You don't have to put in ID. Okay. So I have removed that ID thing here. Let me see first if it is working like that. So let's give a price that's anything like 23,000. Then put up a comma again. Come down. Again, same thing. Let's give it a category. And let's say this is in electronics category. What else we can have? We can also have a quantity. Let's say this is 34 left in stock. And what else can we have, guys? We can have a color. Color. So let's say this phone's color is black. Okay. And then we can have, what else we can have, guys? Come on, tell me what else we can have. What else? Like any two more properties, guys? Come on. Yes, Indrajit. Yes, Robo 3T is actually a better option, but right now we're focusing on one of the softwares. So for this session, we have focused on what you call as the Compass, that is by default provided by the MongoDB Community Edition. So that's why we're using this, so that everyone can find it. But yes, in future lectures, we're definitely going to use Robo 3T. No, we should, like, camera, RAM, and ROM are not properties. They are the description, right? Yes. Yes. So someone came up with, Yatin came up with description. So yes, let's have description. Yes, rating is a good thing. Let's have rating. And also, if we get time, I'll also show you how to build that rating system tomorrow. I'll show you how to build that rating system. Don't worry. Okay. With all those stars and everything, I can show you how to build that. So everything will go in description. So right now, let's just write blah, blah, blah. We can have after that, what is the size and everything. And then let's have the final one, that is rating. So all these are enough now. Okay. Now these are enough. We are not going to move ahead now. So let's say 4.3. Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit because I don't have this option anymore. So insert. And here we go. See now, we have the name, price. I hope you can see, everyone. I'll just zoom it. You can see, right? We have name, price, category, quantity, color, description, rating. And you can see there is one more thing added that we didn't add. That is the ID. And that is unique. That will uniquely identify this particular document. So inside our PMS database, inside our products collection, we have a product. We created one more product. Now, if you want to create one more, you can simply go insert document. Again, you can remove this ID. If you want, you can leave it. It will still be generated. If you want, you can remove it just for simplicity. And you can create one more. For example, let me write the same things again. Let me write it on the notepad so that I can add multiple things, but that's fine for now. Let's simply have it. Let's add one more. So let's have something like, what we can have. Let's say denim jeans, like so. And then we can have, what was the next thing? Price, right? So let's have price that will be 1200, let's say. And then we can have the next one, that is quantity, right? So let's have quantity. Oh, there was also one category, right? So let's add that. Don't worry about that adjustments right now. You can put it. So let's have a category, colon, and then you can have clothing, and then quantity you can have 145, and then what else we can have? Oh, what was the property that we used last time? We had what we called, oh come on, what are the other properties that we used after quantity? Category, quantity, and a description. Yeah, description. Let's again have blah blah as our description. That is the best description I can think of right now. So blah and blah. And finally, let's have the rating. So yes, we also had color, right? Yeah, I forgot that. So let's have rating of 3.4. It's a bad product. And finally, we have color. Oh, sorry. The sequence doesn't matter, so you can just go up and down, not a problem at all. The sequence of properties doesn't matter in this case. So let's have blue. And oh, there is some issue. I have made a mistake somewhere. Can you guys find it? I'm not having this insert anymore. I have made a mistake somewhere. Name. Let me just zoom it so that you can see it. I think I have made a mistake somewhere. Let me see. Name, denim jeans price, category. What is the problem? I don't find any problem here. Comma after blue. That is the last property, but let's do it. Yeah. Nope, we still don't have it. Insert not permitted while document contains error. What is the error? Come on. Why I can find it? Comma after clothing. Yes, that's the actual error. Still a problem. Comma after clothing, description in description in DSC. What description in DSC? Comma after clothing, I did it right. There is still an issue. Yeah, you cannot put the last comma because there is no document, right? There is no detail after that. So let's just put insert. Yeah, so that's cool. So now you can see we have two simple products. Note that spacing is not a problem. I just made it. The comma was missing. That was the problem. And you don't have to put a comma at the end. So that is something. Okay. And let me also just make it big so that you can see it. Okay. So now I hope you guys can see it. Now we have two products here. And now see, you have these options of like this here. You have something called as edit document. You can click and you can simply change any data. See, now you can change data. It's like update. So you can change any data. Okay. And you can change the property name as well. But I don't want that. So I'll just click on update and make it normal. And then you also have this copy document. So you can copy and paste it if you want. I think, yeah, it's copy document. Then you have this clone document. If you click on this, the same document will be created again. Okay. And then you have this delete. If you click on delete, simply the product will be deleted. Right now, I don't want to delete it. Can you tell me the error here? Name, Samsung Galaxy S21, price 1000, category electronics, comma, description, blah, blah, color, black. I can see a tick. Before your color, I can see a black tick. You have a tick here. Viraj, before the color C, there is a tick. Yeah, so that's cool. So now, simple, right? You can edit it. You can copy it and paste it somewhere. You can clone it. So basically, a copy will be created right here, right now. And you can also delete it. Right now, we're not going to do that, but that's fine. So guys, are we cleared with use of this, everyone? Now, if I want to show you delete, I can show you delete. See if I have did a lot of hard work to add this product, but I am going to delete it. Let's delete. And see, you have this cancel or delete. So if I click on delete, it will be deleted. So I'm not going to do it. I'll just press cancel. Okay. I just want to show you that it works. So guys, are we cleared with this? And you can also clone it. See, just press clone. Say you get the same thing. Now you can change the data. You have all the properties. So now you don't have to write it again, right? You can simply change these things and that's it. So when you click on clone, it gives you the exact same thing and you can simply just change it and that's it. So now if you want, you can simply go on and let's write Samsung Galaxy M51, let's say 34,000. Electronics, quantity 12, color, let's say silver, blah, blah, and let's say 4.7. Insert. So that's what cloning means. Cloning will give you the same document again, and you can change and add a new one. So basically, you don't have to write all the properties again. How to do all this in Node? Don't worry. Let's go step by step, Jitendra. We are going step by step. We're going to learn. Don't worry. Okay. Guys, so have we understood all of this, the basic things about the MongoDB compass? Now, don't worry about this aggregations and schema and all of these things. We're going to learn about the schema and everything. But that's enough for the compass. Now, by this, at least you can learn. You have learned how to start with compass, because this is the section we are going to spend more of your time. So basically, if you're in MongoDB compass, you're going to like use 90% of your time only on the document section. This aggregation, schema, and all of this, you're going to like use little bit of time there. Mostly you'll have your time wasted on documents. Okay, so don't worry about other things right now. We'll learn some them when we actually create a MongoDB session separately only for MongoDB, 3-4 hours only for MongoDB. Then I'll definitely teach you all the commands and also all of these options. But right now, this is enough for the starters. So now you know how to create a database. Now you know how to create a collection. Now you know how to create a document. That's enough for a MongoDB starter. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared with everything? Can we move ahead now? So that's the part from the MongoDB. Everyone, are we cleared with this? Sir, how to add blue and black in color? How to add blue and black in color means? I don't understand that. Prasad, for update, you have this, right? Edit. You have this button. You can simply go and edit it. See, this is the update button. So you have this pencil here, right? Okay, I made a mistake somewhere, I think. Unable to update, no changes. Yeah, cool. Not a problem. Cancel it. Yeah. So you can see here, you have this button, edit button. That's what we update. Can we able to add blue and black both in color? Yes. Why not? It's just a text. So just go and write blue and black. Why? That's not a problem. That's cool. Yes, but if you want to add like two colors, you can also create a simple array there. So for example, just for example, let's say you go here and then you go to the color part. Where is color? Yeah. And then you remove this text. Now you have made it a string already. You have to change the type to an array. And then you can simply add now like blue, black, and update. So now here in your genes, you have two colors. You have blue and black. So that's how you do it. Is that cleared? Jitendra, that's how we do it. Okay, so basically when you edit it, by default it was string. So you cannot add it. You have to go here and you have to change the string to array. That's how you do it. Yes, Pranav, you saw it, right? Pranav, how to create an array? You simply have to go here and select. And yes, if you want to add it, you just have to add square brackets. That's all. Okay, are we cleared, guys? Everyone, are we cleared with this? Please tell me. And can we move ahead now, everyone? Can we view a demo like what we'll end up building? I have not built it. I'm going to build everything in front of you. That's what we do, right? We don't practice before your sessions. We simply make it in front of you. So I'm going to make it in front of you. So you're going to see everything, all the errors I make, all the mistakes I make. You're going to learn all the things from them only, because that will be the best for you. You can see what errors I make and what errors you can make and how to solve errors. If I practice it, I'll simply make it, and that will be not good, right? So yes, right now we don't have a demo piece. Don't worry, but you're going to see everything tomorrow. Okay, guys, so let's move ahead. Let's move ahead. And now after adding all of this, I have a lot of things in my mind. Now we can create filters. Now we can create a category filter. So now I have a lot of things in my mind. We can create a price filter. We can create a category filter. We can also make products out of stock and in stock depending on the quantity. So after this description, I have a lot of things in my mind. I'm going to make everything tomorrow. Okay, guys. So that's all about the MongoDB. Sir, can we have an array of color in one record and just text in other? Why not? Yes, that's what I have. That's what I have, right? See, in this, I only have a text black. And in this, I have a array. So yes, these documents are completely dynamic, S. Sharma. These documents are completely dynamic. You can do anything. That's what makes the MongoDB one of the best databases. Documents are completely dynamic. Okay. It's not like fixed that you have to do this or do that. You have to follow a format. You don't have to do that. Okay, guys. So can we move ahead now? Okay. Now then, enough of this. And now let's move on to the next part, that is creating our backend. So the backend technology that we are using is Node.js. Sir, if you have a large CSV of products, can it be? Yes, Binayak. You simply have to do this. Import file. Can you see here, Binayak? Just click on import file. You'll have an option of selecting your file. Select it and upload it. Okay, Binayak? I hope you understand this. So you can do that. Would we learn about how to model our database in an efficient way? I struggle a lot with modeling the data. I just wrap my head around it. Yes, I'm going to show you how to create schema and how to model it properly. I'm going to show you that. Don't worry. Right now we have only one collection, but yes, I'm going to show you how to create proper schema, how to create a proper model. References, we are not working with references in this session. Let's see tomorrow if it's needed. If it is needed, I'll show you how to work with references. I have not planned for that in this session because we don't have a lot of time. But don't worry, tomorrow if we get time, I'll make a different categories collection and I'll show you how to connect your categories collection and your product collection, but only if we have time. Otherwise, we are moving ahead with this because we don't have a lot of time, right? We still have to complete everything in 5 hours. Jitendra, you'll understand what is the difference between put and post. Just give me some time. We are moving ahead to Node.js. So you'll understand what is the difference between put and post. I'm going to tell you all of that. Okay. So let's move ahead, guys. Now then, for the backend technology to create the server side, to write the server side code, we are going to use JavaScript, right? So previously, people used to use what you call Java for their backend language as their backend language, or PHP or C# as a backend language. But after 2009, people also started using JavaScript as their backend language, because after 2009 or in 2009, there was something great invented. In 2009, Ryan Dahl invented something great, something called as Node.js. Now I'm going to take quick time of 10 minutes to explain you what exactly is Node.js if you don't know about it at all. So previously, people used to use Java, C#, PHP as their backend languages. And JavaScript was only used for the front end, because the runtime for JavaScript was only one thing, the browser. The browser was the only place where JavaScript used to run. That's why JavaScript was the client-side technology, and JavaScript can be only used for the front-end things, like to manipulate HTML and CSS, right? But Ryan Dahl saw the things that JavaScript can do, and Ryan Dahl saw that JavaScript can actually match up any other language in this world. So basically, in 2009, he created something called as Node.js. Now, first of all, you need to understand that Node.js is not a language. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime, or you can say a compiler for JavaScript, or a place where JavaScript can run, or a support of JavaScript. You can call it anything. In our case, I'm just calling it JavaScript runtime. So Node.js is it's nothing but it's just a JavaScript runtime, which if you install it in your PC, if you install this JavaScript runtime in your PC, that means now your PC supports JavaScript. And now you can run JavaScript anywhere in your PC. You can literally run JavaScript anywhere in your PC. So this was made possible by Ryan Dahl in 2009. And after 2009, we can literally use JavaScript anywhere in our PC. And once JavaScript is outside the browser, now we can also create backend, or we can also write server-side code in JavaScript. Now then, what are the benefits of using JavaScript as a server-side language other than Java or PHP? First, it is easier to learn. Second, if you're already a front-end developer, you don't have to learn a new language for backend like Java and PHP. I learned that. It came in 2009, but people actually started using in 2016, 2017. They started using more. Before that, people were still using PHP and Java. Even when I started learning, I used PHP for my backend things because I never knew it. I heard about it, but I never learned it, because in my colleges and schools, I only was basically told to learn all of that because that was in the curriculum, right? But think of it like this. Think of the benefit. It is easier to learn. And if you're already a front-end developer, and if you know JavaScript, you can simply learn, because you're again going to write JavaScript. So you already know JavaScript. And now you're going to use the same language that you were using for front-end in the backend as well. That means you don't have to learn two technologies. Okay, so that's what Node.js has done. So now JavaScript is also a client-side language and also a server-side language, because it still works with browser to manipulate in HTML, CSS. That is the client-side JavaScript. And now it can also work outside the browser. So you can write any code, you can write server-side JavaScript. Are we cleared, everyone? So Node.js is not a language. Node.js is a JS runtime that you have to install in your PC so that you can run JavaScript anywhere in your PC. By default, the environment is browser for JS, but now you can run it anywhere in your PC. So basically, if you want to start writing JS as a server-side language, you have to first install Node.js in your PC. I hope we are cleared, everyone. Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, please tell me so that we can move ahead and I can show you from where to install Node.js and stuff. Okay, that's great. I can see a lot of yeses. That's amazing. So now then, once we have understood what exactly is Node.js, is it a JavaScript runtime? And see, one more thing. It's also built depending on the Chrome's version 8 engine. Chrome's engine. Chrome basically is a browser that runs JavaScript inside it, right? So Randall also followed the Chrome's engine, Chrome's V8 engine to build Node.js. So Node.js is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 engine. That's what you call it completely. So if someone asks what is Node.js, never tell it's a language. Okay, I know Node.js language. Node.js is not a language. JavaScript is. Node.js is just a runtime. Okay, cool. Now then, let's close it and let's see from where you can actually install Node.js. So simply go on your browser and simply search for, sir, is Node.js used to handle multi-requests with single thread? Yes, Jatin, yes. But you can also, what do you call, make it work like a multiple threaded just by having the background task and asynchronous JavaScript. But yes, it works with a single thread. Event loop is something that helps it. Okay, so now you just simply have to go Node.js, download, and you'll simply have this link, download Node.js. And then you can go here and depending on your PC, depending on your OS, download. For me, my PC is Windows and my PC is 64-bit. So simply I'll click on here. And once you click on this, think of it like an exe file will be downloaded in your PC. And again, the installation process is same. Double click, next to everything and install and done. That's how you do it. So depending on your PC, just download anything, double click, next, and install. Okay. Guru, I think this is also important, buddy. थोड़ा सा information देना, right? Start से. Because जितने भी लोग यहाँ हैं, सबको JS नहीं आता, बहुत लोग शुरुआत से start कर रहे हैं, right? So थोड़ा बहुत information देना important, at least 10 minute का, right? But don't worry, practical अभी थोड़ी देर में start हो जाएगा. So don't worry, Guru. Okay? But a lot of people here, I think they don't know anything about Node.js. So at least before starting, before diving into something, you should know a little bit about that thing, right? So I hope that's cool. Okay, so depending on your PC, just download it, double click, next, install it. Once you've installed it, to check, to confirm if it is perfectly installed, you simply have to go in your CMD, open your command prompt, okay? And here we go, and simply run node-v. If this command gives you the version of Node, that means Node.js is installed. If this command doesn't give you, if this is like unrecognizable command, that means the path is not properly set. For 99% of the people, this will work. Okay, so let's see. And here we go. I get the version of Node installed in my PC, 14.16.0. So that means I have Node installed in my PC. Okay. So basically, when you install Node, you get two things. Okay. First is you get the runtime. That means you can run JavaScript anywhere. Second, you get one more thing called as NPM. So when you install Node.js in your PC, you get two things. One is you get the JavaScript runtime. That means you can run JavaScript anywhere in your PC. Second, you get NPM. That stands for Node Package Manager. So basically, there are a lot of third-party packages available online related to Node. And you can use NPM to download those third-party packages in your projects, delete those projects, uninstall those projects, update those projects. So you can use NPM to maintain all the packages, all the third-party packages that you are using in your project. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Don't worry. Okay. Guys, everyone, are we clear with this? Okay. So you get NPM. Okay. Third, someone is also telling me about NPX. Don't worry. I'm going to explain what is NPX. You get one more thing, guys, that is known as NPX. This is a package executor. NPM is a package manager. which will help you to install the packages, uninstall the packages, and maintain the packages. npx will help you to run the packages. It will directly run the package without even installing it. It will directly run the package from internet online. So sometimes, let's say if you don't want to install the package, you want to run it directly, you can use npx. So with npm, you can install, uninstall, and manage. With npx, you can directly execute the package from online. You don't have to download it. So that's what npx does. So that's the difference between npm and npx. npm is a package manager. npx is a package executor. It will directly execute the package. You don't have to download it. It will directly execute it from the internet for you and download everything that you need. Yes, yes, Jitendra, you can use Yarn. Why not? Yes, you can go for Yarn. Why not? Yes, I personally prefer npm, but yes, it's totally fine, Jitendra. You can use Yarn if you're familiar with it. Not a problem at all. Okay, cool then. From not working, it's asking to sign in. Gitika is having some troubles with the attendance. Umang, can you please see it? Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we have installed everything, and now we are going to create a very simple project. Okay, so can we start, guys? Can we start now? Everyone, can we start with our backend project here? Okay, cool then. So I'm going to create a folder on my desktop, or I can create a folder inside, actually, not on desktop, so that I can maintain it properly, right? So I'll simply go in my this PC and in work folder, and I'll simply write, I'll create a folder named CRUD app. Okay, and inside that, I'll keep my project. So I'll create one more folder here. So I'll simply say new folder, and I'll say CRUD backend. So this is the folder which will have all the things related to my backend. Okay. Now the editor that I'm going to use for writing the code is VS Code. So basically, if you don't know from where to install it, you have to again go online and search for VS Code download. Okay, and then you have this link. And see, you don't have to like forcefully use VS Code. Depending on you, it's totally like your personal preference. You can use Sublime Text, you can use Atom, you can use brackets. It's totally up to you. You can also use Notepad, but I'll not suggest you to use that. Okay, so you can simply search for VS Code download on internet, and then depending on your PC, download it. Once you download it, you get a UXE file, and again you have to double click next, install it. Once you install it, you will get and open it, you'll get something like this, a code editor. That's all. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my project folder here. So simply go on and click on open folder and search your project folder. So my project folder is in this PC, work, CRUD app, and this CRUD backend. I want this folder. This is my project folder. So I'll select this folder. Okay. So now that project folder will be opened here. And here we go. Can you see it, guys? Everyone, are we clear with this? Guys? Okay, cool. So now everything is ready. Now we can start writing JavaScript for the server side, because we have installed Node.js. That means we can run it outside. So let's see. Let's create some basic JavaScript file, and let's see, first of all, can we run JS outside the browser? So inside this folder, I'll just click on new file, and I'll create a file named index.js. Okay. And then let's write a simple JS code that we used to write in some browser. So let's say console.log, I am running outside browser. Save it, open your VS Code terminal. So you have it here, see, terminal. Click on terminal, new terminal, and you'll have a command prompt here. Okay, you'll have a command prompt here. And now to run this file, you simply have to go and write node. Node, this command will be only working if you have Node.js installed. So write node and then your file name, index.js. And here we go. See, guys, the console.log is working here. That means now we're able to run JS outside the browser, and we are successful because of Node.js. Have we understood, guys? Before moving on to learning how to build the backend API here, are we clear with this? Everyone, are we clear with this? Please tell me. Running JavaScript outside the browser. Now, when I say I'm going to create a backend, I'm basically creating a backend API. So basically, I'm showing you how to create a backend API in Node.js. Okay. Sir, just a little slow. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? I thought you guys are understanding, so that's why I was just telling you. So Pramod, are you understanding? You please tell me. Okay, that's great. So now this is how you run your file. Simple node index.js, and your file is running, and you can see the output of the code. But now we are here to actually create a project. We are here to actually create a backend API. And we also have to learn how to connect it to the backend, our Node.js program, our JavaScript program, our backend code. Okay. Now, first things first. Okay, Acha, you are also doing it. Okay, cool. Okay, cool guys. See now. Focus now. Now, here we have to do few things. Like now our JS program, the one thing it will do is it will connect to MongoDB. Right? It has to connect to MongoDB so that it can put data in MongoDB, extract data from MongoDB. So for that, so that our Node.js program or our JavaScript program can connect to MongoDB, we need a third-party package. To connect our Node.js program or JavaScript program to MongoDB, we need a third-party package. Okay, and also so that our backend program can handle requests coming from front end and send a response to the front end, we need one more package for that. So now here we need two packages. One package that will help our backend program to connect to the database, and one package that will help our program so that it can take requests from the front end, coming from the front end or React or anything, and it can also send, it should also be able to send responses back to the front end, right? So to handle the request and response, we need one package, and to handle the backend MongoDB connections, we need one third-party package, so that we can, our Node.js program or JavaScript program can connect to the MongoDB. So we need two third-party packages that will help us in this. So let's install them. And we know to install and manage them, to install and manage the third-party packages, we have something called as npm. We just learned. So let's install the first package that will help us to handle request and responses with the front end. So you just have to write npm install and then the package name. And the package name is something called as Express. So Express is nothing but a third-party node package that helps you to handle request and response coming from the front end. Are we cleared? So let's just press enter. And it will take a minute and it will install. Yes, Prasad, Express is also a node framework. Yes. It's not a separate technology. It's again Node. It's a part of Node.js. Okay. Everyone on YouTube, are we getting cleared with this, guys? Everyone on YouTube. I don't know. I think everyone has joined the Zoom, right? I don't know if everyone is on YouTube now. Okay, there are a few people on YouTube. Okay, cool. So now you can see that Express is installed and there is one more new folder added to your project. That is Node modules. Now I'll tell you what is it. Node modules is basically a folder where all the packages used by your projects are stored. All the packages that are by default available, inbuilt packages, and all the packages that you're installing like Express, everything will be stored inside the Node modules folder. Please remember this. Everything will be stored inside the Node modules folder. Okay. And you can see there is also one more file added here, package log.json. I'll tell you what is that. Okay. Someone is asking why we use Express. Santosh, we are using Express in our Node.js, in our backend, so that our program will be easily able to handle requests and responses coming from the front end with the front end or work with the front end, so that our program should be able to handle the request coming from the front end and send the response back to the front end. That is something in which Express will help us. Okay, cool, everyone. And now here you also have one more file named package log.json. This is a file in which all the packages details are stored. So whatever packages are present in your Node modules, all the details about them, which version are you using right now, when you installed it, what is the package name, all the information is stored inside the package log.json. So package log.json is basically a maintaining file in which all the packages used by your projects are mentioned. All the dependencies that you're using in your project are mentioned. So this is one file, package log.json. Express will act as a middleware. No, Express will use middleware. Express will not act as a middleware. Express will be a part of your code directly. Okay. So Manikandan, Express will be directly the part of your code. Directly, it will give you the functionalities that you can use to handle the request and send the responses. Okay. Okay, guys. So are we clear with the node modules folder and package log.json file? Everyone, please tell me. Guys, and don't worry, wait for the code. You'll understand everything. Okay, we need one more package. Now see, we have installed Express that will help us to connect to the front end. Right. Now we need one more package that will help us to connect to the database, the MongoDB database. And the package name is Mongoose. So you simply have to go npm install Mongoose. And let's just put it. Ankita, node modules is the folder where all the packages that your project is using are stored. For example, Express and Mongoose are the two packages that are installed. So the files of that package are stored inside the node modules folder. Is this clear, Ankita? Ankita, are we clear with this? So all the inbuilt packages plus all the packages that you installed are stored inside the node modules folder. It's basically a place where all the packages are stored. Ankita, are you cleared now? That's cool then. Yeah, sure. So now we have the main two packages installed. Package log.json is a file where all the information related to all the packages that is in your project are mentioned. I can show you. See here. See all the packages that your project is using by default packages and also the packages that you're installing are mentioned here. See, the Express package information is mentioned here. What is the version of the package you're using, resolved, integrity of that, that means the encryption, everything about that is here. All the internal things that Express is using. So basically, and see, also your Mongoose will be mentioned somewhere in here, depending on the, what do you call it? The order, ascending or descending order. Yeah. Yes, Prasad, we can also use package.json. I'm going to tell you what is that. Don't worry. Let's just go step by step. Yeah, Prasad, let's go step by step. Okay. See here, you have this Mongoose. We installed this, right? So the information of Mongoose is here. So that's what I'm telling, right? It's basically package log.json stores the information about all the packages installed in your project. Okay. Okay, guys, everyone. Are we clear with this? What is the message about two packages are looking for funding? Don't worry, just cancel it. See, these packages are created by some creators, right? So they also need funding because they are supporting you. They are creating these packages so that the world can use them freely. So if you're getting a message like packages need funding, don't worry. You can go also and pay something to them. You can donate something, but you generally don't have to do it. They just put up a message like, we need funding. Can you give us something? Because they are working for free. Like they are working for free for everyone. They are giving you these packages so that you can write code simply in your projects, right? So that is it, Sushil. Because they are creating it for free. We are using it for free. So they also need some money to maintain and create everything, right? Because they are spending time and knowledge of theirs. Okay, cool, guys. So now we have installed everything. Now then, let's see how to include those packages in your project so that we can start using them. So let's use it. Let's see, do we need to install Express every time? Yes, Ketan, yes. You have, if you create a new project and if you need Express there, you have to install it again. Yes, not in this project, it's done. But if you have another project, you have to install Express again because it's a package. It's not a tool that you have installed in your PC and you can use it anywhere. It's not a tool. It's a package that is needed by the project. So we can do take API calls in vanilla JavaScript. Are you talking about calling the APIs or talking about creating the APIs? No, in client-side JavaScript, you cannot create APIs, but yes, you can call APIs. Express is a package, Yatin. Express is a package. Calling the APIs, yes, you can do in vanilla JavaScript. Yes, you can do that. Okay, Yatin, Express is the package. It's not a framework. Framework is a big thing. Okay, guys, so can we move ahead now? Can we start with the code? So first thing we'll learn is how to handle requests and responses. Second thing we'll learn is how to connect it to the database. Okay, so let's start. So now to use the Express package, to use all the things provided by the Express package, first we have to include the Express package in our, what you call the code file. Okay, so let's see how to include it. It's pretty simple. You simply have to write const, that is nothing but like var or let. It's just ES6 JavaScript. Const, give any name. So I'm giving Express. You can give any name here. Equals. You have to use something called as require. Require is basically an internal function in JavaScript, in server-side JavaScript, or in JavaScript generally, in which you pass the package name. So basically what you did, you required this package, you included this package, and whatever object this package is returning, you stored it in the express object. So now this express is the object. This express here. Now see, what I'm saying is you can name it anything. You can also name it E. It's totally fine. It will work. It's just you're importing the express package, and whatever object that package is returning or giving it to you, you're storing it here in this E. And now you're going to use this E to call all the functionalities. So instead of E, we give it express so that there is no confusion. That's all. Okay, that's simple. And now we can start using it. Okay, guys, so can we start now? Guys, can we start now? Everyone, are we understanding? Can we start? So now we have imported the express package, and we have stored whatever object the express package is returning in the express object. You can name it E, you can name it F, it's up to you. But you simply give it express so that there is no confusion. Okay, now then, the first thing you have to do is you have to create an express object. You have to create an app express object. So you simply write const app equals express. You do this. So now this is your main object, which you can use to create the server, to handle the request, and to send responses. So basically you created an express object. You created an express object named app. You can also name it E, you can also name it F, you can also name it G, you can give your name. Don't think it is fixed. I simply give it app because it's much more clean and understandable that you can find this is app and we're using it. Okay, or you can name it request handler. It's totally up to you. Now then, let's see how to create a server so that this file can start listening to requests and start sending responses. First, I have to create a server. So creating a server, and it's pretty simple. You simply have to go and write app, or you can just simply say creating and starting a server. So you simply have to go and write app, the object, and it has a method named listen. What extensions are required in Visual Studio Code? I'm not getting any suggestions like you. Okay, I'll tell you. See, this is the tab, everyone. I forgot actually to tell you that. Okay, don't worry. So you have this, and in this you can simply go and write Node.js, and you have to install this. You can install Node debug. I think this is not the thing. You can go for JavaScript actually. Just go for JavaScript and install this one, JavaScript and TypeScript. See, and also this one, JavaScript ES6 code snippets. Just install these two extensions. You'll get all the JS hints everywhere. Okay. Okay, Viraj. So you can download these two, JavaScript and TypeScript, provided by Microsoft, and JavaScript ES6 code snippets, provided by Sharam Lampos Caripidis. It's a dangerous name, but that's fine. Yes, tab 9 will be best. I just personally don't use tab 9 because it makes my Visual Studio go a little slow. So for me, maybe in my PC, tab 9 makes my PC slow. That's why I don't use it. Okay, because I installed it and used it for some time, but I never liked it. But yes, it gives really great hints. Okay, guys. So now app.listen, and you simply pass a port number on which the server will start running on and listening on. So I pass 3000 as my port number. Okay, and then it also has one more method, a callback function. So you can simply write a function here, and it can also be an anonymous function like this, an arrow function, simply. And you can simply put console.log server is running. Oh, I made, yeah, I forgot the comma here. Cool. Now see, so basically app.listen, basically I'm saying my server to get created and get started, and it should be start listening on port number 3000. Just like see, MongoDB server has a port number 27017. That was the port number. So basically each and every service in your computer runs on a port number so that we can identify them and start working with them, because each and every file, each and every server has a name of localhost, right? Each and every server has a name of localhost. So how will you identify them? Which server I want to connect? So depending on the port number, you can identify. So for example, if you go for localhost with the port number 27017, that means I'm trying to contact to MongoDB server. But if I go localhost colon 3000, I'm trying to contact the Node.js server. That's how it goes. Yes, yes, you can also create normal function. It's totally fine. You can simply go and write function. That's it. Simple. Nothing much. Exactly same thing. So now it's a normal function, normal anonymous function. Now let's save it and let's run this file and see if it is working. So you just have to write node index.js, press enter. Oh, there's some issue. Oh, the spelling of console. Why 3000? Because I feel that 3000 will be currently a free port number. You can also give 8000, 5000. It's totally up to you, Santosh. It's not a fixed thing. It's not a fixed thing. Okay, so I can give 8000, 3001, 3002. It's totally up to me. I generally give 3000 because in my PC 3000 is always free. Okay, Santosh. Okay, so I forgot, I wrote a wrong console.log. That was the error here. So now I'll run it again. And we should get, yep, here we go. See, we have server is running and that is great. So now our server is actually running. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared? Please tell me. Okay, that's amazing. Now let's move ahead to the next step. So now we have started with the node programming. Now we have also created a server. Now we have to learn how to handle request coming from the front end. Now, before learning that, now see, whenever someone sends a request, they send a request based on a URL, right? Whenever someone sends a request through the backend as a front end or as a normal client, they send a request on a particular URL. And in the backend, you have to make sure that, okay, fine. For this URL, what response I have to send? For this URL, what response I have to send? So for different URLs, you can send different responses. Okay. So basically, a request is sent based upon a URL, and in the backend, you handle those requests based upon those URLs. Are we cleared? So for example, let's say I have a browser here, and someone will send a request. Okay, where is the browser? Have I closed it? Oh, I closed it. Let me just get a browser for you. Here we go. Okay. See, if you simply go in the browser, someone's asking how to write an arrow function. It's simple, Shivam. It's simple. See, you simply write arrow function like this. You can give a name. For example, see, when you write a normal function, you go like this: function, do something, then you have this bracket and like this. To write an arrow function for this, you simply have to write the name. Okay, then equals to, then bracket, and then arrow, and then this. So this is how you write the arrow function. You don't have to use this function keyword. You don't have to use this function keyword. So this is how you write the arrow function. Are we clear, Shivam? And if you're writing an anonymous function, that means a function that doesn't have name. In this case, you simply remove this, the name. And in this case, you simply don't have to put anything like this. You can simply go like this. So if you are writing an anonymous function that is not having a name, so in both of them, you're going to remove the name. Are we cleared? Shivam on YouTube, are we cleared with this? Jitendra, you're asking what if we give a busy port number? So you can go and make that port number free, or you can use another port number. Totally fine. Okay. Jitendra, so if 3000 is busy, I can either go and make the 3000 free by closing that server, or I can simply use another port number. Okay, cool then. Now, as I was saying, normally when someone sends a web request from the front end, they send a request based on the URL, based on a URL. And in the backend, you handle those requests based on that URL. Like fine, for this URL, if a request comes on this URL, I have to send this response. If the request come on this URL, I have to send this response. When I say URL, it's nothing but its path. It's a route. For example, let's say someone goes in the browser and types, okay, I want to visit www.google.com. This is a URL, and I'm sending a request to the Google server. And Google server will understand, fine, he's trying to access www.google.com. Let's send a response for whatever we have decided to send for www.google.com URL, or you can also call it a path, or you can also call it a route. Let's say someone tells this www.google.com/index. Now this is another URL or another path. And maybe in Google server, they might have handled this. Okay, now if someone sends a request on www.google.com/index, let's send this response. Let's say someone requests www.google.com/index/patch/kjhl, anything. In the backend, this is also handled, right? On the Google server, they have written a code which handles this URL. Okay, fine. If someone sends a request on this URL or this path or this route, I have to send this response. That's how it works. So basically, you send a request based upon a URL or a path or a route, and in the backend, on that route, there is some functionality that is going on. So if you call that route, if you send a request on that route, whatever functionality is related to that route in the backend, that will be called. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we getting all of this concept here? Please tell me. So basically, in the backend, you have to make a functionality that will work for this route. So that if someone calls this route in the backend, for this route, a functionality will be called, and whatever is decided to happen will happen, and the response will be sent. Are we cleared, everyone? Okay, then let's see then how to do it in the backend, how to handle a request for a particular route. Now, one more thing. People will send a request from the front end, right? People will send request from the front end. So now there are different types of requests that people can send from the front end. There are different kinds of requests that people can send from the front end. So the different kind of requests are post request, get request, put request, patch request, and delete request. These are the most famous kind of request that people send from the front end or from some other source, from some other origin. Now I'll tell you each kind of request is related to what. So if someone wants to send a request for creation of a new data, fine, they are sending some data and they want it to be created, they want it to be stored in the database, they will send a post request. Post request is always related to creation of data. Okay, this post request is basically sent when the front end or the client wants to create some data. So they are also sending some data, plus they are also calling a request. In that case, that is a post request. So it's for creation. Get is for reading the data. So basically, when you go on the browser and write www.google.com, that is a get request. You're trying to fetch the Google page, right? That's a get request. So whenever you search for something and you get data, that's basically a get request. So post is like when you submit a form. You go on the website like Facebook, you create your account, you fill the form and submit it. That is a post request that is sent to the backend. Fine, this is the data, store it in database, create a new data for me. That will be a post request. Get is only for getting. So now you have created the account, you have logged in, and you're seeing all the posts and everything. Those are all coming from the get request. Now you go and you edit your post. Now again, you are creating a post. That is again a post request. If you want to add a new post on Facebook or you want to add a picture on Instagram, that is a new post. Again, you're sending a post request because you're creating something. Now, if you go on Instagram and you want to edit a post, in that case, it can be any of these two, put or patch. Don't worry about this right now. Just think it like this: put and patch or for update request. So when you want, like you have already have a data and now you want to change it. I want to edit my name or something like that. So now you're again sending a request. So when you send a request for editing some data that is already there, it's not a new request. It's not a new data request. It's for editing. Either send put or patch. And when you want to send a request for deletion of data, you send a delete request from the front end. And in the back end, you have to handle all of this. If a post request comes, what to do? If a get request comes, what to do? If a patch request comes, what to do? If a delete request comes, what to do? You have to handle all of this in the back end. Okay. See, S. Sharma, what is the difference between put and patch? Put is for updating the whole document. Patch is for updating a single data. Or you can also say put is like when you update something, you get the whole data back. Patch is like when you update something, you only get that data back. Now it's up to me how I handle it back in the backend, but it's like that. So put is basically when you update something, you get the whole document back. You get the whole data. You get that whole row back as your response. And in the patch, when you update something, you only get that data back. That is when you use a patch request. Okay. Are we cleared, S. Sharma? Are we cleared? So, but both are for update. Put and patch, both are for update. Okay. Are we cleared, everyone? Are we cleared with this on YouTube, on Zoom? Are we cleared, everyone? So now can we start understanding all of this? We can be able to create using put. See, if we want, we can also get using post, but that's not the case because these things are made for that. And if we basically do any kind of other stuff in that, that basically means we are doing nothing. We are basically simply misusing them and using them wrong, because they have all the options so that you can use them correctly and easily. But if I am using post request for getting data and get request for creating data, then I'm simply misusing it and making wrong things, and that will harm me in the near future when I want to actually do something related to it. Okay, so never do that. Cool. So now then, let's move ahead. So now let's say, think of it like this. Okay, again, let me open the notepad. Again, let me open the notepad, please. Now let's say someone will send, just think it like this. Someone will send a request from the front end on this URL, localhost colon 3000, that is my server name and the port number, slash get data. Let's say someone will send a request on this URL and it will be a get request. So if someone sends a request on this URL and he sends a get request, how can I handle it in the front end? So how can I make a request handling functionality for this in my backend? Let's see. Are we guys understanding, everyone? Let's say someone sends a request for localhost colon 3000 slash get data on this URL and he sends a get request. How to make a request handling functionality in the backend for this? Let's make it. So now let's see how to do it. So simply you have to use this app object again, app dot, you have all these functionalities. See, so now you know, right, a get request is coming from the front end. So to handle it, you have to call the get functionality. So you have to write get, and then now see, localhost 3000 is your server name, so you don't have to care about that. It will be already by default prefixed to every URL. So coming in your request, coming in your application, whatever request will like comes in your backend, it will always have localhost 3000, because localhost is your server name and 3000 is your port number. So it will be prefixed, but you have to only focus on this. This is the path on which this get request is coming. So you simply have to write slash get data. So localhost 3000 is fixed, it's there, because that the 3000 is the port number on which the server is running and localhost is the name, so they are there. But I have to only write this. You don't have to write localhost colon 3000. It's there. Just write get data. Okay. So basically, if someone sends a, and also you can ignore this. Let's say this is fixed, so just ignore this. So basically, if someone is sending a request on slash get data, right, a request on this path slash get data, and it's a get request, so you handle it like this, app.get, and this is the path on which the request is coming, or the route or the URL. And then here on after comma, you can write the functionality that will be called for this request. So that functionality will by default have two objects, a request and response object, that will help you to handle the request and send the responses. And then I'm basically making it an arrow function. You guys can also make it a normal function if you want. You can simply go on and remove this arrow and simply write the function keyword here. You can also do this. It's totally fine. But I generally don't prefer it because arrows look much more clean, right? So I simply remove this function keyword and I put an arrow in between. And that's how I do it. So now, whenever someone sends a get request on slash get data URL, this functionality will be called. And request and response object are available with all the request handling functionalities. So don't worry about it. It's default available. You can name it anything either way. You can name it RE and RES. It's totally fine. I generally name it REQ and RES so that I can understand it, because always the first one is request and second one is response. Now, what if someone sends another get request on another URL? You can also write it like this, app.get. Again, it's a get request. And let's say now he's sending a request on hello, a new route, hello. Again, you can simply say REQ, RES, and the functionality. Okay. Sir, put the arrow instead of equal. Yes, where? Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rakesh. Yeah. So guys, are we understanding this? Now we have two request handling functionalities. Now we have two request handling functionalities. And this is the functionality which will be called if someone calls slash get data route with a get request. If someone sends a request on slash get data as a get request, this is the functionality will be called, right? This is the program or function, or you can also call it an API. That is nothing but application programming interface. Any program that you write is called as an API. Okay. Don't think very much about it. Web API is something different, but normally any program that you write is nothing but a program, a programming interface. So basically this is functionality. You can also call it an API, an application programming interface. So basically you're creating an API. We are creating an API that will run on web. That's why you can also call it web API. Simple. Okay. Now one more thing. Now as a user, as a front-end user, this thing, I can call it a path, I can call it a URL, I can call it a route, or I can also call it an endpoint, because I'm calling on this. I'm calling on this API. This is also called as an API endpoint. So you can also call it a URL, you can call it a path, you can call it a route, or you can also call it an endpoint, because when you call this endpoint, you get some data. When you call this point, you get some data. That's why you can also call it an endpoint. Sir, CRUD app is called as REST API. No. You'll understand what is REST API. Don't worry. CRUD is basically create, read, update, delete, buddy. So don't confuse CRUD with API. API is any program you write, whether it is related to create, read, update, delete or not. Right? So don't think like CRUD app is called as REST API. No, not at all. API is a program, right? API is a program. So here, this is API. But right now, are we sure that we are creating data or deleting data? No, right? So creating data code, deleting data code, reading data code, updating data code are also called as APIs. Or if it is not creating, reading, updating, deleting at all, if it is doing something else, it is still called as an API. But why do we call few things REST API? I'm going to explain you in some time. Don't worry. But don't worry. Let's go step by step, guys. Please focus. So now our server can handle two GET requests. One for /get data route, one for /hello route. Are we cleared, everyone? We are going to create REST API, Yatin. Yes, Jitendra. CRUD is, yeah, the backend that we are creating is an example of REST API. Yes. Okay. Endpoint is basically, actually, we call it an URL endpoint. Actually, these two words are combined. We call it a URL endpoint. So simply, the URL is called as an endpoint, Prakash. That's what I'm saying from like 2 minutes, right? You call the URL as endpoint. Endpoint is nothing but the URL that you call. So even if you say www.google.com, that is also an URL endpoint. Are we cleared? Are we cleared, buddy? Okay, guys, can we move ahead now? Everyone, can we move ahead? Can we see now how it works? Now then, let's say if someone calls this, if someone sends a request for this route, let's send him a response. Let's send him a response. So to send a response, you're simply going to use the response object. So let's send a response. Let's say response res dot send. And then inside this, you can simply put any response. It can be object, it can be a text. For example, let's write first response. And for this, I'm going to write second response. Save this code and run it again. Run it again. Now again, see, server is running. Now then, let's go on the browser. Okay, let's go on the browser and let's call this. So how we call it? Localhost colon 3000. That is your base URL. That means the main one, the server name / get data. So localhost 3000, you have to call because you have to call the server, right? Now inside the server, what route are you calling? You're trying to call what? This / get data. And you can see it here. I hope I can zoom it. No, that is not zooming in. So I've called localhost colon 3000 / get data. And if I press enter, can you guys see the response coming from the backend? Everyone, can we see the response coming from the backend? We got the first response, right, everyone? We got the first response. Now, if we call the second route, that was nothing but hello. Here we go. Second response. If I call any route that is not there, like anything, blah, blah, blah. See, it tells me cannot get this route because I don't know this. Because yes, we don't have anything like that in the backend. So that's why we get this error. But if you call hello or get data, you get the response perfectly. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared? Please tell me, are we cleared with this? All of this? On YouTube, people? Cool, amazing. But now we are not going to use a browser to test our API. And one more thing, first of all, I want to teach you before moving on. So you can also do this. You can say hello slash bye, something like this. So now your route contains hello slash bye. So you have to write, now hello is no longer work. Hello is no, let me just save it first. And hello will no longer will be working. Okay, hello will no longer work. See, now we don't have it because now we have slash hello slash bye and it works. So focus on that. Always focus on your routes. Localhost colon 3000 is your base URL, which will be always in front of all of these routes because that's your server name and the port number. That will be always in the front of all these URLs. But think of them right now. Okay. Yes, you have to restart the server right now because you changed the code, right? So you have to save it and restart the server. I'll also show you one way where you don't have to restart the server again and again. But just wait for that. Right now, we're not going to do it. Just wait for that. To stop the server, Viraj, you simply have to go here and press Control C. That's how you stop. Yes, I'm going to use NodeMon. Don't worry. Let's go step by step. A lot of people here don't even know what is NodeMon. Okay, so let's go step by step. Okay, cool. So this is how you stop it. Just press Control C and again run the same file. So server will start. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, please tell me. Can we move ahead now? Now, sir, what happened when we write app.get request response? There is no route. That means that may be on the base URL, directly on the slash. You can test it. Why not test it, Jatin BTech? You can try to test it, right, buddy? You can write it and test it. What is going on with that? Yes, you can tell me this is kind of URL mapping. Yes, Jitendra, this is kind of URL mapping. Yep. Yes, buddy. Are we cleared? Now, can we see, guys, how? But before moving on, we are not going to use browser to see the request handling part because browser can only work with get request. Browser can efficiently work with get request. What if I want to test my post request, patch request, delete request? How am I going to test that? Browser help you in testing the get request. What if I want to test my post request, delete request, update request? So for that, sir, will we use express router for making the routes? Yes. Let's first see, like, can we complete it normally or we going to need the router? But if we need it, I'm going to show you how to use express router. Don't worry. If you have a doubt in express router, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to use it. Don't worry, buddy. But I don't think in this project we're going to use it because it's a very simple project. It will just have 4 functionalities. So there is no need of express router here. But don't worry. If you want it, you can tell me. I can show you how to use it. Surely. Okay, cool then. Okay, guys, so I was telling basically browser is efficient with get request, but browser is not efficient with handling all the requests like post and everything. What if I want to test my post request, delete request, update request? I'm not going to use the browser. So for that, and right now I don't even have the front end made. So what I'm going to use then? So you have to use a front end client, basically a client application that has all these functionalities of calling request and getting responses and the functionality of calling multiple requests. And he can also call post request, delete request and everything. Right. So for that, there are multiple tools available online. There are multiple softwares available that will help you test your APIs. They have all the features of testing APIs. They will be able to help you in sending requests, receiving responses, adding data to the request and everything. They will help you in a lot of things. So now, yes, we can use network tab, Pradit, but that's not the best thing I will suppose. Okay, that's why I'm saying it's not, browser is not that efficient. Okay, so there are a lot of softwares available. So one of them is Postman, one of the most famous softwares that helps you in testing your API. You're testing your backend API. Second is what you call as Insomnia. There is something called as Insomnia. But I'll tell you one of the best ones. You can go in your VS Code. You don't have to download other softwares. You can go in your VS Code and you can simply search for Thunder client. You can download this. See here, Thunder client. You can also download this, something called as Thunder client. And it will give you a tool, a complete tool like Postman or Insomnia directly in your VS Code so that you don't have to use any other software separately and give load on your PC. You can directly have an extension in VS Code that you can install that will give all the functionalities that Postman software will do for you or Insomnia software will do for you. You don't have to use a separate software. You can directly use your VS Code for doing that. Now, once you install it, you will get this option. See here, you'll get this flash symbol here. You can click on that and Thunder client will open. It might take a little time for start. And here we go. The Thunder client has opened. See now, a Thunder client has opened. Now let me delete the old requests that I tested just to check it. Now here you can go simply, okay, fine. I want to fire a new request. See, these softwares are nothing but client softwares that help you to test your API. So for example, see, browser is not efficient. And right now you don't have a front end made so that you can call the request and get the data. So what if I only want to test my routes to check if they are working perfectly? So you can use these client softwares like Postman, Insomnia, or Thunder client. I'll suggest you to use Thunder client because it's inbuilt in VS Code if you download the extension. Okay. Now, no order doesn't matter, admin. No, order doesn't matter. Okay. But in which case you're asking about the orders, about the routes? No, order doesn't matter in that case. Now, guys, please see. Now I want to call a new request. I want to check. So you can simply click on new request. And here we go. You have this file. Here it comes. Okay, so if you click on new request, it comes like this. Okay, so now here, this is from where you call request, and this is where you receive the responses. Okay, this is from where you call the request, and this is where you receive the responses. So now I can simply go here and pass the URL you want to call. So localhost :3000 / get data. Same thing that I did in browser. And here you can select what kind of request are you sending. Are you sending get, post, put, delete, patch, head, or options? I'm sending a get request. Okay. Are you also sending any query parameters? No. Are you sending any authentication parameters? No. Are you sending any headers? Yes, whatever is by default. But if I think you can also remove it. It's not needed actually. You can remove it. Okay. Are you sending any data? No. After installing snippets, our Thunder client has show error while installing Thunder client extension. Please check the log for more details. Try to reload your VS Code, restart your VS Code, see if it is working, Prasad, and tell me. Try to reload your VS Code once. Do you want to perform any test right now? No, I don't want to perform. So basically everything is empty because I'm sending a normal get request. Let's send it. Send. And here we go. Here we have our response. Guys, are we cleared with this? Please tell me. Guys, are we cleared with this? Now let's also call the second one. Basically, it's a good replacement because you don't have to use any other software. Now you can also call get data. Sorry, the second one was right. Hello / bye. Send this. Here we go. You have responses. So basically, it's a tool that will help you to understand everything. That will help you to understand all the APIs that you're making. And now you're doing everything at a single place inside the VS Code. Right? You can write your data and come here and check it on the spot. No other software. Okay, then that's great. Now let's, instead of text, let's send some objects back. So let's send an object back like this. Name Saurabh, age 25. So now I'm sending an object back. Instead of normal text, I'm sending an object back. You can see response.send. I created object brackets and I'm sending name Saurabh, age 25. Save it. Let's get back to Thunder client. Remove this and call get data again. And let's see. Get data. Send. Oh, I think I have to restart my server. So let's restart it again. Control C, run it again. Let's go here. Send. And here we go. See, it gives you also a good display, right? It also gives you a good display of data. You can see data and see it properly actually. So it will also help you to read the data properly. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared? Please tell me, are we cleared with this? Everyone? Ah, that's great. Now then, let's see how we can handle a post request in which I'm trying to send some data. Let's see. But first of all, for that, I have to create. Yes, I'm going to share the code, Isha. Don't worry, Isha. I'm going to share the code. Okay. But before moving on to that, let's first create an API endpoint for handling the post request. So I'm going to remove this second get request. And let's, instead of get data, let's call it products, because in future I'm going to get products, right? So I'm just calling it slash products. So now my route has changed. Now it is slash products. Now let's see how to handle a post request. So it shows the same error. Do one thing, Prasad, try to uninstall and install it and tell me. Just do it once. Try to uninstall the extension and install it again, and then tell me. Okay, let's see how to handle a post request that may have some data incoming. So let's go right and simply write app.post. Okay, and then let's say this also comes on slash products. Now see, I can have two same routes. But the difference is one will be called using get and one will be called using what? Post. That's the difference, guys. So in this case, I'm going to do same thing for both. I'm going to do localhost slash products for both the endpoints. I'll call both using localhost :3000 slash products. But when it will be called using get request, this will be the response. And when it will be called with post request, response will be others. So let's see. Let's create the functionality again, request response, and let's send a normal response right now. Response.send post request. Save it. Now see, I have the same URL for both, but what's the difference? Difference is the request type, and depending on that, they are different. Now see, let's go here and let's write slash products. Now see, currently it's get request. Send, you get this. If I only change it to post, send, you get this, the different response. See, so only depending on the get and post, I can have two different responses, but same URL. It's totally fine. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, are we cleared? Please tell me. Everyone, are we cleared? Guys, please tell me, please, so that we can move ahead. That's great. That's great. Amazing. People on YouTube, are we getting cleared with this? People on YouTube? Okay. Now let's move on to the next thing, and let's see how can I send data in the post request and how can I handle it in the backend. Okay. So basically, to send data from the front end, you simply have to go in the post request. You have to come to body, go on JSON, and now you can pass any content here, whatever you want to send in the post request. Simply go and write like name, let's say bag, leather bag. Okay. And then what was the next thing? You can also pass, let's pass a product actually, price 3000. Okay, and it's a number, so I don't have to pass double quotes. Then I have quantity. I'll pass quantity as 123, let's say, and color brown. What was the next thing, guys? What was the next thing? What do we use for MongoDB? Let's see. Category and description. That's good. Yeah. So category is, let's say, apparels, and description is blah to blah. Right now we are like very innovative in descriptions, right? So now I'm sending a post request and I'm also sending some data with it. Okay, let's send it. Right now I get the same response because, okay, fine, it's the same response because that is the response I'm giving, right? But now how can I get that data in my code so that I can use it? Yes, I forgot the rating. Thank you so much, Yatin. Let me just put it here. Rating 3.4, very bad bag. Okay, now basically what I'm saying here is, how can I get that data in my program so that I can use it or I can store it in my database or do something? How can I do that? So it's very simple. First thing is, whatever data comes into your request comes in a normal format, in an unreadable format. You have to convert it into a readable format. So for that, what you do is, for your express object, you pass a middleware that will convert all the unreadable data to readable data. And that is nothing but express.json. So all the unreadable data that is coming from the front end in the request will be converted to JSON. So basically, I'm passing this middleware in my app object. So app.use this middleware, right? What is the middleware? That sits between all the requests. That sits between all the requests. In this case, it will be sitting in all the requests. It will be sitting between all the requests. So before the request is coming, it will check the request, and whatever is you're trying to do, it will do that, and then it will forward the request back. So basically, this express.json middleware will convert all the unreadable data to a readable JSON format. That's why you have to use it. Basically, I pass JSON in there in the front end, but when I send it, it will be converted to unreadable data, and I cannot read it here. So this thing here, I'm applying a middleware on my app object so that on all the requests incoming, a express.json object will be applied, and it will convert all the unreadable data to readable data. Are we cleared, everyone? So that's it. Here we go. You can simply write use of middleware to convert unreadable data to readable data. Don't mind my spellings, guys, please. That's it. Now then, after this, we can simply go keep the response same. We can simply write console.log, and the data is directly available in the request object, request.body, and you'll have your data. The data will be available always in the request object because it's coming with the request, right? So request.body, the body will hold all the data that is coming. Save it, run it again. Yatin, middleware is something which sits between all the requests. So when you apply a middleware, it sits between the request. So whenever the request comes, first, whatever you have whatever is the functionality of the middleware, it will be applied on the request. So sometimes some middleware checks if the request is valid. Sometimes some middleware check if the request has this particular data, or if the age is less than 20, or sometimes some middleware convert your request data to some other format. That is what this middleware is doing. Middleware is something which sits between the request. So whenever request comes, it directly does not go to the backend. First, it will be stopped by the middleware. Middleware is like a watchman. Previously, there was no watchman in my project, so any request can come to the backend. Now there is a watchman named express.json, which will convert all the unreadable data to readable data. Sometimes different middlewares can do different things. Sometimes we apply middlewares for checking. Please check if the data that is coming has an age greater than 20 or less than 20. Please check that the data is coming has the name starting with S. You can write all of that things. So middlewares are basically nothing but watchmen. They first look at the request, if whatever your conditions are getting satisfied or not. So in this case, express.json here is a middleware which sits between the request and converts all the unreadable data to readable data. Are we cleared? Yatin, are we cleared now? I hope. Everyone? That's great. Cool then. So now let's see if we are able to see this request.body in our console here. So let's get back. Oh, sorry, here. Let's send the request again and see we got the response plus in the console. Can you see the data, guys? I got the data in a really good looking format in the backend in request.body. And now I can use it anywhere I like. Are we cleared, everyone? Guys, we got the data in the backend. That's great, right? Okay. That's amazing. So now we know how to work with get and how to work with post. We'll talk about update and delete in some time, don't worry. But now let's learn something new. Now we have at least understood the basics of API, right? Guys, have we understood the basics of what you call the APIs, everyone? Have we understood how to handle requests now? Now, you know, if you want to handle a delete request, we'll simply write app.delete and simply whatever the URL is. And again, a functionality will occur, right? Now you know the syntax at least. Now you know the process. App dot whatever kind of request you're trying to handle, and then whatever URL will be behind that, and then whatever functionality you want to perform. That is a simple process. But now let's learn the other thing as well. Connecting our application to the MongoDB server and sending this data to MongoDB to store. We have to learn that as well, right, guys? Everyone, we have to learn that as well. So should we start now? Should we start the next thing? Santosh is not getting data in terminal. There might be some issue. Please see the code. Please check out the code once properly, Santosh. Please check out the code once. Did you use this properly? app.useexpress.json. See to it. And are you sending the data perfectly in the JSON format, in your body, in the JSON format? Are you sending your data perfectly? Please check all the factors. Is your request type post? Please check that as well. Okay, please check that as well, because if it is get, then you will be unable to send the data. So please check that as well. Okay, guys. So now enough of creating API endpoints. Now we know how to create API endpoints, and we can create the delete and update in no time. Basically, in 2 minutes, we'll be creating the update and delete. But before that, let's see how to connect our Node.js application to the MongoDB server and send this data to there and save it. Okay. Okay, then. So now, first of all, we have installed a package, right, named Mongoose. We have to require it. So const, I'm going to name it Mongoose. You can name it M. You can name it your name. It's totally fine. Equals, but you cannot name anything this. You have to name it Mongoose because the package name it Mongoose. So here you have to name Mongoose only. So now the Mongoose object is available to us. And now we're going to use this object to create the connection with the MongoDB server. And it's pretty simple. You simply have to do this. So let's just go after this and write connection to MongoDB. And you simply have to use the object mongoose dot connect. And here you have to pass the URL. Here you basically pass the URL. So ours is http:// I don't think you have to put http://. Simply go here where you call your MongoDB, you'll get your link. If you go on the home now again, so let's go to the home. And let me first of all zoom out. Come on, respond. It's not responding. Yep, finally. And let's say connect. Not connect actually. I want to go to the home page because I want to show you where you can see the connection. Yeah, here you go. See, you have this localhost :27017. That's your basically what you call the endpoint. And there is one more thing I want to show you. Let me just close it and open it. I can't find the home page for this actually. Let me just close it, and I want to show you where you can find the proper URL. Sorry. So let me just open it again. I want to show you actually. Let me just let it open. Let it open. Here we go. It's opening again. Let it open. No, sorry. Till the time it is opening, let me just take some water. You guys can also take a little break till the time it is opening and drink some water. You guys are working very hard right now, understanding a lot of things in just a matter of 2 hours, right? Can anyone say what? Vadla, what are you asking? Can you tell me, Vadla? Vadla Ganesh Reddy, what are you asking? What is your question? Tell me, I'll answer you. So after every save in terminal, I cannot type a new save. How to connect to MongoDB? I'm showing that, Vadla. Okay. See, guys. So here you go. If you go fill connection field individually, here you go. This is your server name localhost, and this is your port number. So this is what we are going to use right now. And I don't think that thing that I wanted is here. Yep, it's not here. So let me directly do it now. Okay. So let's minimize it. Okay. Now what you have to write is here simple. You have to write MongoDB : localhost : 27017 / your database name that you want to connect to. Our database name is PMS, right? And then you have to pass 2 more options. You also have to pass 2 more options. That is use unified topology, give it as true. Use new URL parser, give it as true. Okay. So this is what, and let me just close the sidebar here so that you can see everything correctly here. So this is what you write to connect to MongoDB. Okay, this is what you write to connect to MongoDB, and then it has a callback function which you can call. So once it is connected, this function will be called, and inside this you can simply write if it is connected or not. So you can simply go and write console.log connected to MongoDB server. Simple. So basically mongoose.connect, the URL, the complete URL on which you want to connect. So basically it's the MongoDB server URL / your database. Then these two parameters, which are very important now, use unified topology true, use new URL parser true, and then a callback function in which you can simply write connected to MongoDB server. How to connect with MongoDo server? How to connect? This is how you connect it. Shreyans, this is your question, right? How to connect to MongoDB server? This is what we are doing. Are you confused, guys? This is what we are doing, right? Now let's see if it is working. So let's just press Control C again and run the server again. And if we get the connected to MongoDB server, and here we go. See, guys, we get the message connected to MongoDB server. That means the connection has been made to the MongoDB server. Okay, so that's it. Mongoose. See, I think on YouTube it's running a little late, and maybe on Zoom also it's running a little late. So don't worry. Let's go step by step. So guys, are we cleared with this? Mongoose.connect, the MongoDB URL, the server URL with the port number / PMS, that is your database name, because this is the database you want to connect to. And then these two parameters, use unified topology true, use new URL parser true, and then finally call a function that will be called if the connection is made. And then you can simply write connected to MongoDB server in that. If that is called, that means you're connected. Guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, are we cleared with how to connect with MongoDB server? Okay, see, that unified topology and parser are nothing but in the new MongoDB version, whenever you call everything, they make sure that you're calling the right URLs and they basically parse your data accordingly. Because when you send data from Node.js to MongoDB, those are the things responsible for parsing your data. So basically you're saying them to use the new URL parser. If you don't write it, it will use the old URL parser, right? But you want to use them the new URL parser. That's why you're writing them. You don't write it, it will use the old URL parser, and that will sometimes create a problem with some kind of data. Okay, and also so that they use the new kind of schema, you're also writing use unified topology. Are we cleared? Yes, Shreyan's code will be provided, don't worry. So if you don't write these two, it will still work, but some things will not work because you're using the old version. So basically mentioning to use this. Now you can simply ask why then they remove the old things. They can't, because still a lot of people have already used MongoDB and they are using the old ones. So they simply can't remove it. That's why they have given you the options to use the new things. Are we cleared? Okay. Are we cleared, everyone? Are we cleared, guys? Are we cleared with everything? Please tell me. Okay, that's great now. That's great. Cannot read property connect of undefined. See if you have installed the package. Vraj Shah, see if you have installed the package of Mongoose. Did you install the Mongoose package with npm install Mongoose? Vraj, have you installed it? If you installed it, then see if you have properly imported the package. See it like this. Okay. Santosh Yadav on YouTube, what is your confusion, buddy? What is your confusion? See, if you're doing with me, you will sometimes feel that it's going a little fast, because if you're doing with me, if you're trying to see everything, then you will understand everything. So please focus, I will say, because I'm going to share all of this code. Don't worry. Okay. We are facing difficulties while connecting to Mongo. Don't, sir. Guys, see, if you're facing problems, don't worry. We will solve it. We have something called as LetsUpgrade community. Okay. So if you have faced any errors in your code, you can go on LetsUpgrade community. You simply create an account and then you can tag me and paste your code and I'll help you solve your code. Okay, because right now I can't see your code, right? So it will be really tough for me to understand what is the problem going on, because it can be any mistake. It can be a spelling mistake. It can be an installation mistake. Okay. Yep, Santosh, that's why I'm saying, right? If you're doing with me, you'll feel it fast, because Your mind is busy in two things, also listening to me, also trying to do it, right? So right now I'll suggest you to do one thing now. Okay, cool then. And we have really less time. We have only 5 hours, and we are still not in the halfway. We still have to complete the front end tomorrow and also the back end. Okay, Santosh. Okay, now I'm trying to explain all the basic concepts because this was only a project session, but still I'm trying to explain everything from scratch. So please focus. Okay, cool guys. I hope you're understanding. Now we have made the connection, and now let's move ahead. Don't worry about the attendance link, guys. You will get it. You will get it. Please focus now. Let's go step by step and focus. Now I want to learn how can I store this data coming from the client into the MongoDB server, because now I have connected to MongoDB. Now for that, the first thing I have to do is create a schema. The first thing I have to do is create a schema. Okay, and then I have to connect my schema to my collection that I have in my MongoDB server. And then if my schema is connected to the collection, then I can start storing the data. That's the process, guys. First, I have to create a schema. Schema is nothing but the reference of your collection, the dictionary of your collection. And then I have to connect my schema to my collection that is in the MongoDB server. And then I can start storing it. Every time I run the terminal, I have to change the port number because it's showing error port already in use. I think you're not closing it properly, Isha. I think you're not closing it. You have to do Control C. And I think you're already always creating a new terminal. Don't do that. Go on to your first terminal. Go on to your first terminal and close the terminal. First of all, close it like this. Press Control C. Don't use multiple terminals. First of all, that thing is very important. Sometimes people do this. So don't use multiple terminals. Close your already running terminal. Yes. Now see. First of all, see, we have made connection with the database, with the MongoDB database. Now we have to create a schema. What is a schema? Schema is nothing but, you can say, a dictionary of your collection, a reference, like what are all the properties my collection has, what is the data type my collection will have. That is what we call a schema. Schema is nothing but what we call a definition or a metadata of your collection. That means what are the properties my collection will have, what are the types my collection will have. That is what we call a schema. Don't worry, you'll understand when I built it. Okay, so you'll understand. Don't worry, guys, you'll understand. Please focus. Now let's create a schema for the products collection. Okay, please focus, you'll understand. Please focus. Okay, so let's write schema for products collection. We already have the collection inside, right? So let's create a schema. So to create a schema, you simply have to create an object. You simply have to create a variable normally. So let's name it anything. Let's name it product schema. See what you do. Equals to new mongoose object, mongoose dot schema. Okay, and see what I do. I simply do this exact same thing. I can copy it from the Thunder client actually. Exact same thing. I simply come here and write the property names and what is going to be the type of a particular property. It's just like definition of my collection. That's it. That means, okay, I'm saying that my collection will have a name property of type string. My collection will have a price property of type number. My collection will have a quantity property of type number, so that when someone tries to insert some data, they have to follow the schema. They cannot put any other property other than what I'm mentioning here. So that is what is the meaning of this, of schema. That's it. That's totally it. You simply specify what are the properties your collection will have and what will be the type of that particular collection, that data. Yes, like a protocol or rule, or you can say metadata or information about your collection. That's it. That's it. And whatever data you now send or receive will be depending on the schema. It will always follow the schema. How to check whether Mongoose is installed or not? Just try to, Tokish, just do npm install Mongoose. You will understand if it is installed. It will tell you updated the package. Then you will understand it is installed. Otherwise, you can also go in package log.json and you can search for Mongoose. If you find Mongoose, that means Mongoose is installed. If you don't find it, that means it's not installed. So you can do this as well, Turkish. Okay. So color string Category also it was string data, right? See, if you have ever worked with SQL, you might be knowing this, right? When you do create table name, you do something like this, right, guys? Everyone, if you do create table name, and then you write, okay, fine, I want to have an ID column, I want to have a name column. This is it. You're basically doing that. You're saying my collection will have a name property, a price property, a quantity property, a color property, a category property of type string, a description property of type string. You're basically saying this. That's all. So that your collection will follow this. That's simple. And don't worry, guys, we have to be a little fast because we have a lot to do in simple times, and also we have to solve a lot of doubts, right? So I hope it's not a problem, and I really hope that you guys are understanding. And yep, we don't need this bracket, so let's remove these brackets. And I think that's it. Why do we need a comma? Yeah, that's it. Cool. So now our schema is done. Guys, are we cleared? Everyone, are we cleared? Please tell me with the schema thing. Guys, please tell me, are we cleared? Everyone, are we completely cleared? That's great. That's great. Now that schema is done, now let's connect the schema to the collection in the backend. Let's connect the schema to the collection in the backend. And for that, we have to create a model to connect our schema to the collection that is in the MongoDB server. We have to create a model, and we're going to use that model to perform all the operations. Okay, so let's do it. So let simply say product model equals new mongoose dot model, and then simply in here you pass the collection name. What was our collection name? Let's see. What was our collection name, guys? Can you tell me what was our collection name, everyone? If we change schema like changing string to array compass, will it change in this code? No, right? See, whatever we did in compass, that was in compass. Now we have to delete all the data in compass, because that was only to just learn MongoDB. That was only to just learn MongoDB. But yes, when you change something in the MongoDB server, it will not change in schema. Schema will always remain same. That's why you have to follow the rules. You never go in the MongoDB server and create a schema. You always create your schema in the Node.js, and you never even touch here. You don't change anything from here. If you want to change something, you change in the schema. You don't come and change here. Is that clear, Santosh? If you want to change anything, you have to change in the schema, not here. That's why you made the schema first thing. Okay, cool then. So PMS database, and inside that, the collection name was products. So simply we have to use our collection name, products, and we are connecting this collection to which schema? Product schema. Simple. Why I'm not giving hints now? That's a really bad thing. Cool. So that's it. See, product schema. I hope I'm writing the spelling right. I don't know. Yep. Cool. So now basically I have a product model object. It's a model. Model is nothing but where you connect your schema and your collection. Model is basically a reference of your collection in the Node.js. Model is nothing but the reference of a collection in the Node.js. And you're telling your model which collection I'm following and which schema you're following. So your model understands that, okay, I'm following the product schema. That means I have to always follow the product schema. I have to always take data according to schema. And in which collection I have to store data, I have to store in the product collection. That's it. That's what the model does. Model understands both. So the schema in code should be exactly same as in the MongoDB collection. No, it's not like that. First of all, see, normally when you start with the code, it's not like that. Right now, why I did, because I planned on these properties. But when you actually work with this things like this, you just create a blank collection and you leave it. Then your collection follows the schema. Then your collection follows the schema. Mohammad Bakir, your collection follows the schema. So basically, when you create a collection in the backend, you make it empty. You don't even do anything. You come here, you create the schema, and then you make your collection follow the schema. Okay. Initially, I only did it for practice. I only did it for you people to understand that you can simply create any data. Okay. Yatin model is nothing but it's a reference of the collection and the schema together. Basically, This is an object which understands that I have to follow this schema and I have to work with this collection. That means this model will help you to create the data, update the data, delete the data, and fetch the data. And it also makes sure that, okay, while creating the data, updating the data, deleting the data, I'm going to follow the schema. And in which collection I have to work, in which collection I have to store my data? In my products collection. Simple. Yes, Jitendra, collection in based on schema. Yes. So this is why we'll simply go in the backend and delete all the data now, so that there is no issue. Delete, delete. So now our collection is completely empty. Yatin, are we cleared? See guys, model is nothing but an object that will help you to perform all the operations in the front end, sorry, in the Node.js. That is the object you'll use to create data, delete data, update data, right? So the model should know, right? If someone is trying to create data, where I have to store it. If someone is trying to delete data, from where I have to delete it. If someone is trying to update data, in which collection I have to update the data, right? The model should know it. So model knows by this. And also, while creating, deleting, and updating, which schema should I follow? The model should know that as well. So this schema is what the model is following. So that's it. You're creating a model object using mongoose.model, and you tell the model, okay, fine, you have to connect to this collection and you have to follow this schema. That means basically you're making sure that this collection follows the schema. Are we cleared, everyone? Please tell me now, guys. Please tell me. Only if you're completely cleared. Otherwise, I'll explain you again. Okay. Now then, let's see how to create this data in the backend. So now I have my data in request.body, right? Let's do one thing. Instead of printing it, let's store it somewhere. So let's simply say let. I'm basically creating a variable in which I store the data coming from this. Okay. So now basically what I did, whatever data was coming in request.body, I stored it in the product variable. Okay. Let product equals request.body. So whatever data is coming from request.body, I simply store it in the product object variable. Simple, right? Now, how to store this data in my collection in the MongoDB server? Let's see, please focus. So now, first of all, you have to create a model object. This is a model. Now you have to create an object of this model, and that's pretty simple. You simply go and write, let's say let pro obj, that means product object, equals new product model. You created the model, right, guys? You created the model. This is your model, right? And you're creating an object for this model. You can name it anything. So I just named it pro obj, new product model. And in that, you pass the data. Simply pass the data. Here we go. I pass the data in the product model brackets, parenthesis. Are we cleared, everyone? So I simply created a object of the model and I pass my data inside the model parenthesis. This is what you have to do. So now I have created the model object with the data. Are we cleared, everyone? So let any name, totally fine, equals to new model, whatever model you have created, the model object. And inside the parenthesis, you pass the data that you want to store. Guys, are we cleared with this? Please tell me. Santosh Yadav, are we switching off and on, buddy? We have covered this, right? Request.body. This is the data that will come from the front end. This one. This data, buddy, this data. This data that we are sending from the request. Santosh, are you clear, Santosh? This is the data that we are sending from the client. This is what will be available in the request.body. Guys, I'll suggest you all to please, if you're watching it, completely watch it. Don't switch on and off. You'll be confused. Okay. So please focus, guys. Please focus. Santosh, are you cleared, buddy? Okay. Now, after doing this, there is one last step that you have to do. Simple thing. Now you simply go and write pro object dot save. That's it. Just call this and that's it. Save it now. And let's send a response of product created in the front end. Save it. Run this again. I hope it will run. Let's see. Yep, it is running. Let's go in Thunder client. Now you can see there is no data in my MongoDB server, right? You can see it. There is no data here. You can see there is no data here, right? It's blank. Now let's see if it is getting created. Send this request. Send. See, I got the response product created. Now to check it if it's actually created, let's go in the backend, refresh, and here we go. Name leatherback, price 3000, quantity 123, color brown, category apparel, description blah to blah, rating 3.4, and we are done. Now we know how to store data in the backend. Okay, so if you just focus, see, first of all, I'll tell you all these things are to understand everything. It takes time, right? But today we are having a project session here, but still I'm trying to teach you everything from scratch. Okay, so please, you have to like focus a little more, because normally we learn these things in 2 to 3 days and then we start doing it practically, but we are doing it directly. Okay, so I hope that I'm able to make you understand everything, guys. Please tell me, are you guys understanding everything? So simple, right? Connection part is very simple. First, you create a MongoDB connection. First step is to create a MongoDB connection. Second step is to create a schema. Third step is to create a model in which you mention your collection and the schema, so that the model will understand which collection I have to follow. Okay. And then while using, simply you create a model object, you pass your data and just object.save and done. Okay. Let's send one more request and insert one more data. So let's send Samsung Galaxy M51, price, let's say 34,000. Adarsh, he's asking, please explain Pro OBJ. Pro OBJ is just like a model object. See, Adarsh, we created a product model, right, buddy? This is a model we created. This is a model that we created, product model. And then here we created the model object. Pro OBJ equals new product model. Just like we create object in Java, normal object. So Pro OBJ is nothing but the model object. And inside the model, you have to pass your data that you want to store. And then just object.save, and that's it, done. Is that cleared, Adarsh? Adarsh, is that cleared? Okay, yes, I'll share you I don't know, B16E NTC Akash Jha. I'll share you, don't worry. 34,000, let's say quantity is 34, color is black, category is electronics, description blah to blah, don't worry, rating 4.7, and I'll share this with you in the chat session. Everyone in the meeting, here we go, I'm sharing it, buddy. How to image upload, Vignesh? Let's see, we don't have that much time to learn right now, but if we have time tomorrow after completing the project, I'll definitely show you how to upload it, guys. So let's add one more thing. Simply send the request, product created. Let's go in the backend, refresh, and here we go. 2 data now, done. Are we cleared, everyone? Now let's do the last thing for today. The last thing for today. And the last thing for today is fetching the data from the database. Yes, I can show you the model part. Here we go. I can actually paste the model code if you guys want. I'll paste the model code if you're doing with me. I'll paste the model code in the chat, and I'll also paste it on the YouTube. Create a channel to join the chat. What is this? I have to create a channel to join the chat. Really? No, I don't want to create a channel right now. It will take time. Let me commit with another account so I can also paste this on YouTube. So guys, you can guys can get it. Switch account. Let me just do it, guys. So guys, are we ready to fetch the data now? Now we have inserted data, and I've also pasted the model code in the chat, guys. You can see it. It's coming with account name RoboWeb. You might be getting it, guys. So now should we fetch the data as well? Everyone tell me. Now we know how to store data, and we can store n number of data now. But now let's see how to fetch data, and that's really very simple. You don't even have to create a model object there. You can simply use your model. So now let's see. What I'm going to do is simply let products. This will be the variable where all the data will be stored. And now you don't even have to create an object of model. You can simply use your model. So I'm simply going to use my product model. So product, I don't know, I'm not getting hints. Product model dot find, and that's it. Done. Model name dot find, and it will extract all the data from the collection, and it will give you in this products variable. And in the response, you can simply send that products. That's it. So now you guys see, right? Fetching is like 99% easier than storing data. It's also easy, but that's fine. So simply see, let a variable in which you want to store it equals to model name dot find, and that's it. That's the importance of model, guys. And now I just, whatever data I got, I sent it in the response. So let's see if we call it, are we getting the products stored inside the database? Let's see, guys. Let's see. So let's go in the request session. Let's again change it to get. Remove all the body. We don't need it now. Are we ready, guys? Should I hit the send? You guys tell me last. This is the last thing for today. Let's press send. And there is an error. That's great. I've made a mistake. What is the mistake I'm making? Object with constructor. I'm making a mistake somewhere, I feel. First of all, I'm getting hints here. That's the biggest problem I'm facing. See, I don't get any hints here. That's a really big problem right now. Oh, I feel it's a synchronous thing. Let me just apply a await here first. And we have to put an async here now. Let me check. I think we have to apply a await because it sometimes takes time. Let me see first of all it's working, then I'll tell you. Let me run it again. Okay. Now let's see. Send. And here we go. We get the data. So the problem was the await. See, guys, first of all, did you see the data, guys? I'll tell you what that await is doing. Don't worry. Did you guys see it, everyone? We got the data. Now I'll tell you what I did. See, it's the same code. I just added a await keyword. What is happening is this find product model.find is an asynchronous task. So it goes in the background. So what was happening was this task was gone in background, and then this task got executed and it was empty. So I got an error because there was no data found. So I added a await keyword. Await keyword will make sure that first this runs completely, then only it moves forward to run this. So it will make sure first the product model.find is completely executed, run perfectly, and then I'll send the response. That's what the await keyword is doing here. It's a concept of asynchronous JavaScript, so don't worry. Yeah, we can do it, Shubham. We can do it. I'll show you. But first of all, did you guys understand the await? And whenever you use await keyword, inside whatever function you are using the await keyword, you have to go apply an async or wherever you are starting the function bracket. Are we cleared, everyone? First of all, tell me that. Are we cleared? Shubham, Jitendra, Isha, are we cleared with that? So the problem was when I don't use await, this task goes in background because it's an asynchronous task. It might take a little time. So it goes in background, and before the execution is completed for this is executed. And I got an error in my response because there was no data available. So basically I said, fine. I applied a await here. That means first you complete yourself, then only we will move ahead. Otherwise we'll not move ahead. So now it will wait till this completes. And whenever you use the await inside a function, at the top of the function where you're creating it, you have to put async. That's compulsory. This is the concept of async.js. You can learn it on YouTube simply. Even you can just go on and search for Let's Upgrade JavaScript Essentials. I have taught everything about async.js there. Right now I cannot because it will take a little time. Okay. But you can simply go on Let's Upgrade JS Essentials, and you can see my sessions. I have explained in very detail what exactly is asynchronous JS. Is that clear, everyone? That's it, Hannah. Someone was asking, how can I get data depending on subcategory? Simple. Go inside find, create an object, and pass your parameters. Like, okay, fine. I want only that data whose category is electronics. That's it. Inside the find. That's it. This is what find will give you all the data. And inside find, if you pass any parameter like category should be electronics or name should be this, then it will give you data according to that. Now, if you go here, if you go there, simply hit send, and I only got the data which is in electronics category. See? So guys, are we cleared with this? Please tell me, guys, are we cleared with all of the things that we learned today on Zoom, on YouTube? People tell me, please. Guys on YouTube, I'm not getting any replies from you guys. That's great. So on Zoom, everyone has understood. That's amazing. So now you can say that 70% of our backend is completed. Tomorrow, first thing that we'll build is the delete and the update functionality in first 20 minutes. That will be very simple because now you understand this, right? Now you guys have understood this. So delete and update will be very easy for you tomorrow. So in the first 20 minutes, we'll make delete and update. Then in the next 2 hours, we'll try to build the front end. Okay. So please refresh your HTML, CSS, and JS skills because tomorrow we're going to do React and create a front end. Yes, we can also do CRUD operations without Express, but I will suggest you to use Express because it makes things very easier. Okay, guys. So everyone understood everything. So that's it for today. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, it's on YouTube available here. No, Prabhu, we are not going to deploy this in these sessions because we don't have that much time, buddy. We only have 2.5 hours tomorrow in which we have to complete the backend and as well as the front end. And we are building something really great because we are building complete thing from end to end. It's not like we are only building backend or we are only building front end in our project, right? We are building both, right? That's why I'm telling you, we are building both. So, yep, it's very important. Others in category, I simply passed, okay, see, in the data, I have category property, right? See, I have this category. So basically, I basically what I did, I filtered my products on category. See, if I only write product model dot find, I will get all the data. So basically, I wanted to get the data that only belongs to electronics category. I only want the data that belongs to electronics category. So I simply said find, and inside find, you simply have to pass the property name and the value on which you want your search to work on. So now I'll get my category only where there is electronics. Like I'll only get the data where category is electronics. It's just like where in SQL, you write, right? Select star from a table name where category equals to electronics. So it's just like your where. Are we cleared? Yes, only object. Okay, for you, only object ID is getting stored. It might be some problem, buddy. Do one thing, Akash, go on the community, paste your code and tag me and I'll solve your problem. Right now, I can't see your code, buddy. Sir, just one question, the package log.json, whether it want to install. It will be by default coming, buddy. When you install the package, it will by default come. So don't worry about it. Yes, Prasad, it's like the primary key. Deepak, it will be by default coming. So don't worry about it. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the session thoroughly. And I will see you tomorrow. Please tell your friends also to attend the sessions. Okay, so that they can also learn something because it's all completely free. And I'm really doing my best to teach you everything that I know. So please also tell your friends to join in and share everything so that everyone can learn. Okay. Prabhu, you can deploy it on 000 web host. That's the best free software. You can also deploy it on Hostinger. That's again free. Yes, Shreyans, it's available on YouTube. Yes. If you want, I can give the YouTube link in the chat. I will give the YouTube link in the chat, buddy. Wait. Here we go. I'm pasting the YouTube link in the chat.
Sir, I've given it.
Oh, you've given it. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, you can also use Heroku. Yes, Sayaditya is telling me yes. Heroku is one of the best free deployment things. Yes. So guys, you can also use Heroku. Yeah. Yep. Netlify is one more. Yep. Why not? Okay, guys. So bye-bye for today. And I'll see you tomorrow at the same time and we'll complete this big project because we are building very big. It's not only back end, not front end, it's complete. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you so much for attending and please attend tomorrow and also tell your friends to attend. It's free and it's really good. I hope. Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you
Good night.
everyone for joining in. Thank you so much, sir, for an amazing session. Everybody, this is the last time as it is the end of the session. I am sharing the attendance link for the last time. So do mark your attendances. It is mandatory for your examination and certification. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, Umang. I think I can also leave. Okay, just give me the attendance link for trainers. I can also mark that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, Umang. Bye bye. Are you there, Umang?
Yes, sir. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.